it down. I had the radio on. I was driving. Trees flew by. Me and Dad were singing. Little runaway. Yeah, I was flying. Yeah, running down a dream that never would come to me. Working on a mystery. Going where it leads. Running down a dream. Yeah, running down a dream that never would come to me. Running down a dream. Running down a dream.
The season is finally in its last leg as we roll into the Irish Hills. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Jonathan Ramos, the voice of NR. Alongside of me, Jarrett Lundberg, as we get ready to rock and roll for 500 kilometers at Michigan International Speedway. There's just something about this car that always produces drama, great racing, a lot of talk heading in. The viewers absolutely love it. Look back to the Ford 400 as your detail to that. Look back to the Coca-Cola 600 just last year, but the drivers can't stand it. It's such a hard car to drive. It drives like a boat at sometimes. Sometimes you just realize you can't even go full throttle on the straightaway, but 211 miles per hour is the speed limit tonight. As we get ready to roll into round 9 of 10 of the NR Cup Series, Jarrett, what can we expect?
Well, you mentioned it. Bad, fast speed. In the draft, going well over 210, being near 210 on their own, and you're going to see these guys on the edge of control. Tires are going to matter. Fuel strategy is going to matter. And you know what? It's kind of cool. We almost have our own USA 500 tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of things to look forward to. Let's start with the first thing. One, these cars on iRacing, they're like paper mache. You hit that outside wall, you better hope everyone makes a mistake. And we've talked about this season. You look at Darlington, back in race number 3. Everyone said the same thing. No fast repair. You got to have a fast repair with this car. And what happened? You had a great race. Drivers made mistakes, but everyone made mistakes, and it almost was a race of attrition, like we were talking about in the drivers' meeting. We could see that a lot tonight, but there's a difference between racing a car tomorrow at a 2-mile D-shaped oval versus a 1.5 miles like Homestead Miami Speedway back in December. The big thing is you got room to roam, and you're going to see a lot of it as 43 drivers take to the high banks in 1 and 2.
Well, and you don't even have to start at the front to run well like you do at a lot of these other places because of that room. You can go down on the apron throughout the front stretch. You can be up higher, a little lower, depends on how good your car is early on, and you can save your stuff too, just like at Darlington.
And it's going to be a lot of fun to see. Now let's talk about the news, because there's news to talk about. There is a championship fight. After Talladega, when Mosteller took the win, we said, oh man, this is it, isn't it? This is how it goes. You look at Bristol, we're like, just not getting any better, isn't it? He's run away with it. Well, guess what? Mosteller went to Charlotte. Charlotte was a rain out, and he will not be able to qualify for this race. That means that Braden Movick wins Michigan. We head into Chicagoland looking at least a 2-driver fight, and we look at the points again. If James Thurston wins, mathematically, 3 drivers with 1 shot using the Gen 4 at Chicagoland Speedway.
Yeah, you can make up a ton of points in one race. 60 points you can make up, which is about the distance as we're running. These guys are consistently up front as well. So by no means is this over yet. And then Chicagoland comes around and, well, that can go to anyone.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see. So that 42 goes to victory lane. Get ready, because in 2 weeks' time, it goes down. But first, you have to roll your way through the Irish Hills, and we love this portion. We're getting right to it. We're starting this race very, very early, so you don't miss a beat. Jarrett, it's the best part of the night. It's our picks, and we get to go ahead and see who's going to do it. Let's start with the underdog.
Well, my underdog had to change his car last minute, but I know he absolutely loves the car he's in. It gives him tons of confidence. I'm going with the Long John Silver's car of Gavin Austin.
Yeah, I think this is an upgrade in my opinion. I think this car is beautiful. It's going to be awesome. Gavin Austin's best track, actually statistically, that's not a super speedway, is Charlotte and Michigan. And same with Chicagoland as well. We'll throw that one in the ring. Final 2 races being these types of tracks, a lot of the younger viewers were shocked that a young driver won the last time of NR night, and they've been saying they want a little bit more recognition in this series. Well, they've got it here, and I think they've got a great driver to get it done. But here's the thing. When you look at the best, it's sometimes not the drivers that win all the time. It's consistency. Now, we talked with Nathan Scott at the end of the last NR night. I said the reason why you're getting into so many wrecks is because when you played Heat 5, you couldn't make those mad dashes to avoid. In iRacing, you can, but he's won here before, and give me that 55. Nathan Scott, my underdog pick, he won in a photo finish. It got 23,000 views as a YouTube short. Hey, I think he brings us another short tonight as he's going to be running up inside that top 5.
He's going to have speed. It's a matter of just staying out of trouble. But moving forward to our picks. Number 4 for me is somebody who I've seen win before. First time I ever did a broadcast, he won. And I think he's going to do well tonight. Schmidt in that 79 is going to be up there in that nice black 79 car at that.
I think that's a great pick, and I'm going to tell you why. Last eTicket event, that was not a super speedway. The last eTicket event of 2022, he went to Victory Lane. And he wasn't a big factor. He drove the 51, an underdog scheme. Tonight, driving an underdog scheme. If you see an all-black car with a little blue pinstripe, that's William Schmidt. He's going to be up there. It's going to be a lot of fun. But another thing I want to point out tonight is that it's either one or two ways. He's going to go to victory lane. One, you're not going to see him up front at all the entire race. And with 30 laps to go, you're going to start seeing that 79 creep back up little by little by little to close it out. He is our closer, which is why I also have him in my Fast Four. Give me William Schmidt going to victory lane, possibly in the Irish Hills.
You know what? Intelligent people think alike. And I agree with you fully, as we see. And it's good that you finally agree with me after how well I've picked recently.
I like taking the risk.
Well, I'm not going to go too far out on a limb when it comes to risk with my number 3 pick. He is also a bit up there in the points as well. Needs a really good night to make Chicagoland matter. I think New Bigging in that 7 is going to run up front tonight.
I like it. I just haven't seen enough out of him. I think he's a great short track driver, great super speedway driver. I just think this hasn't been the season of Douglas New Bigging. It's been great early on. We're like, hey, he might be the underdog championship contender, but in my opinion, too many things have gone wrong, and we know, let's be honest, we know something's going to go wrong tonight. If you watch Bristol, if you watch Darlington, some things you just cannot control when watching racing. But here's my thing. I think this driver's got a shot to head to Chicagoland with an opportunity to win a championship. I think this driver has got the best odds, if he wins tonight, to win a championship. He's going to have the momentum on his side. I think he's got the viewers on his side. Just last year, so many viewers didn't like him. All of a sudden, it became the year of Muvik, and cheers came out for that 42. I'd say he's my Fast 3. He's not my number 1, just because I know the uncertainty. NR night, last time we did duels, he was in, and then he went upside down and missed the show. You just never know what can go wrong.
But we're not doing duels tonight. This is the big race. And I think that's a really good pick of yours. I think he's going to be bad fast tonight. But when I go to my second pick, I'm going with someone who's been bad fast for weeks now. The first multi-time winner in this series. Back-to-back could make it 3. I'm going Burrows in the 62.
I like it. I like Burrows a lot. I mean, 2 wins already on the board. You can't go away from the 62. There's never such thing as a bad pick with having him up there. Burrows has won the COT before. He won at Kansas back in 2022. He's always running up front. But here's my thing. You look at also drivers that haven't won in a while but have a reputation on iRacing for being fast, but also, in my opinion, being reckless. Blaze Crawford does not have the best reputation here, but at the same time, I know he's fast. I know I can respect him. And the reason why I say that is because he's done a lot of interesting things that I have not exactly liked, but I've seen him run fast before. But as long as he keeps his A game, he's going to be running forward. He's driving the 3 tonight. Do it for Dale, Blaze. He's my catbird.
Well, I'm noticing a trend that you have here. All your picks that aren't underdog are in black cars, so I know where you're kind of heading with all that. And while I'm not exactly on the same page there, we talked about this guy as one of your picks in there. He's bad fast. He needs to do well tonight. This is a good track for him. My win pick is Braden Mubbock in that 42. I think he's going to get it done. And I think we're going to have a real championship battle at Chicagoland in 2 weeks.
And that's the big thing about us. No gimmicks, no nothing. Just straight on points. Can you make it? Great. You did not qualify? That's on you. We've had a lot of great drivers miss the show off of qualifying already this season. So at the end of the day, yeah, he needed a golden goose. It's right here. Doesn't make a mistake. It's going to be big. But here's one thing I want to point out. Last time we went to Michigan, it was the last NR night in America. We had a caution-free race. So we see a caution-free race tonight? I don't think so.
No.
I think it was just the fact that everyone had their A game on, but the COT kind of reminds me of the Xfinity Series stock car. Well, Ethan Stanley won the last time we went to Michigan, and it was with the Xfinity Series. I'm telling you, he's won here multiple times. He's always run up front. He has what it takes to go to victory lane. Keep an eye on that 54. Filling in for Todd once again. I think Duncan might find their way back in victory lane.
I think it's a bold pick, but he is somebody I think that could be under the radar. I don't think he's a favorite as much as you do, but I do think he'll be running up towards the top 10, top 5 tonight.
Well, it is going to be a lot of fun. Here's the deal. 3 minutes from now, we're going to start qualifying. After 5 minutes, we're going to rack them up. We're rolling hard. And COTs, the viewers been asking, where are the COT races? Well, we got one right here. 155 laps, 500 kilometers. We get ready to go trackside, but before we do, Jarrett, I want to talk about the track. Talk about pit road speed, talk about championship hunts already. What do you think we see when it comes down to the racing-wise? Because last time we did the Ford 400, we talked about it's going to be multi-group. It was multi-group for the first 30 to 70 laps. It also became very dominant on the bottom lane. Now, track state's going to be at 0%, so I think we're going to have a wider group towards the end of the race compared to Homestead. But do you think we're going to continue to see that side-by-side racing with tire wear being the main focal point tonight?
I think we do. I think we see that side-by-side racing continue throughout the night. And I think a lot of it also will have to do maybe with the fuel mileage race, fuel lottery, maybe a tire lottery, because tires will matter tonight. So I think it's a matter of, one, who has that just raw speed, because that is what really caters well to this track. But two, which one of these guys also has the best strategy going?
Well, it is going to be a whole lot of fun as we get ready to roll. Drivers on track, you can hear them now as we get ready to take the green flag. Let's go trackside, because in 2 minutes time, we get ready to roll. A lot of things to look at. You always want to keep an eye out on practice. Why is that? Well, we didn't talk about Max Swearigan. We're watching him right now on screen. He's top of the board. We've seen drivers sneaking into 37, 38-second lap times, which is fast, by the way. You compare it to next-gen racing at Michigan now. Completely different standpoint. Are you surprised at this fast four?
I'm not surprised of 2 through 4, but I got to say that 15 being at the top of the board does surprise me a bit. I would think he'd be in that top 15 range, but first, no, I was not thinking that.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of new drivers heading out on the racetrack. Dylan Basin back there in top. He's become a fan favorite. I kind of like it. I do. He's gotten that Red Bull stance. Every time he drives a Red Bull out there, everyone knows, hey, that's Dylan Basin. Winning a lot in NR, fast with the high horsepower machines. We left the Red Bull out of our top 5 picks, but I wouldn't be surprised if he finds a way through.
I wouldn't either. Again, there's so many fast guys in this field that none of them, for the most part, would surprise me being in that top 10, 15. But I would not be surprised seeing that 4 car get up towards the front.
We're no surprise here. William Schmidt, he's back in 6th. Gavin Austin up there in 7th. Nathan Scott in 8th. Both our underdog picks are inside the Elite 8. Andrew Cooney at 11th. Haven't talked about him in a while, but he's up there. Nathan Lyons, Quill Murphy. A lot of new guys making their first start. They're doing one thing, that's looking for a trophy.
Yeah, and if anything, make a name for yourself. Get these last race or two, get that to put your name out there. Show you can race with the big dogs. And so far, so good.
Well, it is going to be a lot of fun. New paint scheme for Jacob Wilkerson, driving the Dynaco 43. Nathan Lyons making a return down in the 21 machine. William Schmidt, Andrew Schulte making his first start. And just 15 seconds time, we'll get ready to set the field. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the semi-final race of the NR Cup Series. It's NASCAR Car Tomorrow race in action from the high banks of the Irish Hills. Welcome to Michigan as we get ready to set them off. Now, just a quick update for the NR Night in America viewers. There will be no stream this Friday. I'll give you the update on why at the conclusion of this race. But we might be streaming Sunday. Now, if we had 400 likes tonight, we are for sure streaming Sunday, as it will be a whole lot of fun. Let's get ready to roll Andrew Cootie onto the racing surface.
Got to remember, when it comes to qualifying, you get a bonus point for the pole. That's going to be really big for those guys up front to try and take full advantage.
We're going to keep an eye on Buffett then, because 1 point makes a difference. Spencer Burns on the racetrack, the Minecraft 06. Couldn't get a sponsor for this race. Hey, go with Mojang real quick. Go ahead and put it on the racetrack. Jacob Quill in the 92. A lot of back marker schemes. A lot of these drivers aren't exactly fans of fad drivers. They love the drivers that puttering around back in 30th. Jake McQuill brings that all-white Dodge down the backstretch.
It's always fun seeing an underdog scheme win for once, and one of those old Dodges at that too. So I don't blame them, but watching these guys go around, let's see who gets that pole, because I have a feeling the guy who is top of the board starting out probably isn't going to be as we get through this run.
Dominguez on the racing surface. Matt Skipper on the racing surface. Daniel Murphy already has collected the outside wall. Spencer Burns back to the line. He's rolling through 1 and 2.
Bit of a higher line as well through 1 and 2 to start out with. Kind of diamond in the corner.
Watch that seam down the inside. Now, this is the newer version of Michigan, not the old bumpy surface that a lot of drivers have known to love, so keep an eye on that. Kevin Champagne is actually driving number 10 here tonight. That is a quick switch of the script. Anthony Burrows down the backstretch in the 62, parks the Mobile 1 as he gets ready to roll. Dylan Mason gets ready to bring that Toyota back to the line.
Wilkerson now top of the board after 6 go. Now Basin to the top of the board. We were saying it'd be fast.
Burns up the 3rd. Gavin Austin up the 5th. Hey, he's down the backstretch.
And that is a good-looking car there. He's really happy.
I love that car.
Yeah, I don't blame him for liking that car.
Brings that Fusion down to the insides. Kicking out that right rear. Gavin Austin, top 6 as of now. James Thurston. Oh, it's a view of a Burger King scheme. Any Tony Store fan will know why. Brings it down off corner exit.
Have it your way as he goes down the front stretch, looking to get the pole this time by. A 37.9 is what he's got to beat. And looks like he will not. Got Champagne up in the top 10, up in 7th. Muvik is 6th as we run, about a 10th off. And Brady now jumps up top 10. New Bigging to the top of the board. That's one of your guys up top in points.
William Schmidt up to 3rd, down to the middle of 1 and 2. That middle line is definitely the way to go, but look how much they're ice skating down off corner exit. Those Toyotas have a handful trying to hold on to it.
Real loose, but keeps a handle on it. Might be a pretty good lap going, maybe.
I think he's got something here. We continue to look behind. But what's going on? Kevin Champagne, Alexander Dominguez back to 16, puts it to a stop. Nathan Lyons, Chase Schaffer all down the backstretch as we get ready to roll. Max Steinmeier down on the inside lane.
Coming down to the line, and that 23 looks really good. Down to the grass a little bit. But not enough to beat a 37.89 time. Bad fast time.
Chad Thornquist, 21st. Brings that 48 machine down to the inside. No, it's not been the season of Chad Thornquist at all. It's not been a great season to begin with for him. But once again, 1 win changes it all. He has 2 eTicket events. 1 used to win all the time in NR Night in America. It's just changing times. Time kind of just catches up to drivers, but sometimes you can go in and wind the clock back up, and we've seen it before with others. Muvik has had times he hasn't won a while. Frank DeAngelis, who knows the last time Frank's gone to victory lane? You know, you just never know what could change here. I love Dylan Basin right here in that 4 machine.
Well, only 200s off the pole as we run right now, so winding it up on the top side that time by. Let's see what kind of lap he rolls around to get. Can he beat the 7?
It's going to be close. 2 off, back to the outside. COT engines raining loud as we get ready to go green.
Gets out of the corner, looking good, not really squirreling around at all. Really close to the wall, good exit there. Screaming down the back stretch into 3.
We have not seen a first-time winner since Anthony Burrows went to victory. The question is, do we see another first-time winner tonight? How about Max Swearich in the 3rd?
Nice run, but let's see Basin. Does he beat the pole run this time?
Bason's going to bring it down pit road. That will do it. Ethan Stanley parks it as well, and that will set your field. Douglas Snowbigging will lock out the top spot. 37.89. I think Base is using this to check pit road speed and get everything ready. Well, a treat is here. If you tuned on in, this is make or break for the rest of the season. Either we see a 3-driver title fight heading into Chicagoland, or Braden Movick wrecks out. Well, hand the crown to Mosteller, as it would have nearly been a perfect season.
Yep, but you got to make every race. That's a huge part of winning these championships. We don't do chases. We don't do playoffs. Got to make everyone, and you got to be up front in everyone.
Douglas Newbigging, Dylan Basin, Swearigan, Schmidt, Wilkerson, Burrows, Scott, Burns, Elite 8. Not surprised on Burns. I'm going to be honest about it. Good with the high horsepower cars. You kind of said this probably wasn't his best car track combo, but sitting 8th, I kind of like it. Keep an eye on him. Quill, Movick, Brady, Champagne, Murphy up there in 13th, Gavin Austin, Barbagala back to 16th. Kind of surprised Thurston starting outside that sweet 16, and Frank D'Angelo's back there in 20th. He has a strategy, and it's the same strategy he had with the Ford 400 that, he almost kind of won that race. It was hold on the tires. It's going to be a long, grueling night. It's the ones that trying to survive that will go to victory lane and not try to go 3 wide into turn 1.
Well, we're probably going to see a lot trying to go 3 wide into turn 1, because you can go 3 wide in turn 1 at this track. But yeah, you don't have to start right at the front of the pack early on in this. It's a big enough track that as long as you run consistently fast speeds, you're not going to have to worry about getting lapped either. So honestly, I don't see any of the people that might be starting further back being in too much trouble, but you certainly can get yourself in too much trouble quick.
Joey Stone makes a return tonight, looks to return to victory lane. Oh, hasn't won an NR9 in America yet, but it's won on iRacing multiple times before as we get ready to roll. Rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to go green. Once again, 400 likes, we will see a Sunday night stream. I'll announce it now, might as well that we're here. I'll be calling the ASA race at Salem Speedway this Saturday night. So I will not be in town to stream on Friday, but I will hurry back home for 400 likes to stream on a Sunday night NR night in America. We all love to hear it. We all want to see it as we get ready to drop the hammer. That is a pro late model race, the ASA CRA Series from the Salem Speedway. Next time by, we could see the one to go. Warm the tires. Let's get ready to go green.
Rolling down pit road. We're expecting a lot of action tonight, especially with how many have jumped into the field. We know what's at stake. We all know how each one of these drivers can put it all out on the line. Now it's a matter about just doing it.
Time to rock and roll. Dylan Basin on row number 1. Douglas Newbigging. You know what? I said he wasn't a... Oh, well, let me rephrase that. I didn't say good. I don't really see him as a driver that gets it done on the big D-shaped 2-mile ovals. But I'm going to be honest, starting row 1, that's going to be big. As we get ready to go green, ladies and gentlemen, Swearigan back in 3rd, Schmidt back to 4th. Michigan used to be a track we never have done in the NR night community. All of a sudden, the driver said, you need to do it. Try it for a race 5. We tried it for a race 5, and now it's almost like it's always on the schedule and clearly deserved to be on the running order for this Cup Series. The best of the best getting ready to go at it. Let's go ahead and say those magical words. God, speed, drivers. You are go for throttle up.
And you know, like we talked about in the pre-race show, this is the easiest car in the season to damage. And we're at one of the fastest, probably the fastest track, I would say, and no fast repairs. So you have to run basically a flawless night tonight. You can run up front the entire race, have a lap car get in your way, end up getting you crashed because they're going 20 miles an hour under what you're going, and be completely junked out of it. We've seen that happen at Michigan before, where guys will be running up front and a lapper will get in the way, can't control the car. It's too difficult to, and it crashes them out. Could we see that tonight?
Yeah, you just never know what can happen as we get ready to drop the hammer. Lights off this time by. We are going green, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to roll from the high banks of Michigan. Welcome to round 9. Welcome to the semifinal race. Do we see a championship fight? Let's find out. Braden Movick can make a comeback that nobody saw coming after race 5.
And he can make a comeback after what happened in the last few races to him. The bad luck. Could it end tonight? And can he get that victory at one of his best tracks? Or will it be somebody else in the field who's desperate for a win, who has been up front all year and not had the luck? It could be anyone tonight.
And James Thurston needs to win out and needs to win out again if he wants to win it all. All roads lead to the checkered flag. You can't win a race on one lap, lap 1, but you can for sure lose it. The question is who will get to lap 155. Pace car gets ready to make the hard left on a pit road as we get ready to roll. Oh, the Irish Hills have given us great racing before, and they plan on doing it again as 40 of America's best lined up 2 by 2. We like the views from Michigan International Speedway. Down into 1 and 2, New Bigging downstairs. We decide not to jump up top and swipe the nose of the Red Bull as everyone continues to hold on to the high banks. It's New Bigging downstairs looking to creep. It's Basin on the outside with the roll. Still wheel to wheel, that's for the top spot.
Inside got the jump early, but the outside has the run. Basin, New Bigging, side by side for the lead. 3 wide back in the pack.
Everyone continues to look for that shuffle. William Schmidt is braced in third as that's Burrows sending it a heave down to the inside. He holds it wheel to wheel with Swearingen. He holds it wheel to wheel now with Burns. Back to lead, lap number 1, still that drag race. Give it to the Red Bull, back to the line as they work their way to 1.
Barely getting ahead, they still stay side by side into 1. Now the 7 falling in behind. Nope, gets another run on the bottom, trying to make it work off 2.
New Bigging will not let him get away. This will not change as here comes now William Schmidt back there in that 3rd position. He's creeped on closer to the 7. Now Basin's able to clear. They roll their way back to 3.
7 falls in line, trying to find a little lower line than the 4. Up top, the 79 of Schmidt, trying to get the run on him. He is getting it quick.
Burrows is locked into 4th. Swearingen's locked back to 5th. If anyone's going to catch Basin, it's going to be tough. But New Bigging's got the best option. He looks back to the outside, but still no news. 3 up, 3 down. They work their way back to 1.
Now single file among the top 4, 5 through 1 and 2, but different lines. New Bigging looking low again, looks down low, might be beside him, falls in line.
3 laps in, this is when your car is going to be running at its best. 10, 13, 14 laps later, you're going to be slipping and sliding. It'll go from heavy on the loose end with the right rear to then driving like a boat. Here comes New Bigging back to the inside, still looking for the swipe for the lead. He's got the wheel to wheel.
Trying to keep it glued to that yellow line. Now he is beside him, but the 4 gets the run. Schmidt coming up behind him with Burrows.
He continues to look. Max Swearingen, Braden Movick have worked their way forward. Movick's up to 6. Max Brady has joined the reins. He's up to 8 as they all dial it back in down on the inside lane. Schmidt half a click high, looks for a run on New Bigging. That Toyota still can't find a way through. Top 3 still hasn't changed.
Half a car length between 2nd and 3rd. You're looking at 3rd place Schmidt. They're all following Basin. Down into 3. Now Burrows looks underneath Schmidt as he looks high again.
Max Brady up to 7.
Contact.
Max Brady into Braden Movick.
Saves it. No contact in the wall. Caution.
And that might do it. All this talk, all in the early portions of the season, towards the end of it, and Braden Movick will not be able to finish this race most likely.
Yeah, that car looks about totaled. The 48 did as well. Looked like the 42 and the 55 ended up making contact through 3 and 4, and this is the result.
Wow. Max Brady trying to do way too much. Trying to qualify for Daytona, was not able to get in. First race back since then. And we're going to see where it all lines up. But nonetheless, that left rear has been all bent out of shape.
Yeah, I want to see what the replay was here, but it looked like I want to say the 55 might have gotten loose below him.
I think Max got into him.
That car is crab walking down the backstretch right now.
That will do. I think he's looking for someone. We're going to continue to keep an eye on it as we get ready to rack it on through. Well, a caution is out for the first time, lap 5, and you look to see who's got damage. You got the 3 back there. You got the 10, Matt Skipper. Pit road's going to be wide open. Nathan Scott, underdog pick. A lot of damage on his nose as well. Let's look back to the replay. We're going to go for the top view here just to watch how they all diamond it on in.
So the 42, Muvik was making his way up pretty quick. He looked like one of the quickest in the field. Watch him down the backstretch. Looks like he got loose, but everyone's loose. That was 47, my bad, not the 55.
That was Max Brady. Just got right into him.
Way too close, and the 55 then gets contact. My bad on that one.
Who else got taken out in it? Chad Thornquist.
What wreck hasn't he been in this year?
An abysmal season continues for that 48 machine. Brady Muvik not happy without it. If you're Max Brady, you have to be aware of what's going on. You know, you're racing to win, right? He's considered a great driver on iRacing. He's considered a great driver by multiple communities, multiple friend groups. But you can't be that incompetent that early. You just cannot. It's just unbelievable.
Well, I don't know if maybe Muvik got in the corner.
No, he did not.
But
no, Max definitely slid up.
No, I know. But I'm saying is I'm wondering if they didn't anticipate him getting in easier, because you saw even the 06 got in right behind him and nearly ran into the back of him. I'm not placing the blame on him, but just more, I'm wondering if that might have been the cause.
Could be. Well, this is going to go ahead and lead to some guys coming down to pit road. Frank DeAngelis of the Los Polos Hermano 69 has worked his way onto the racing surface. Andrew Schulte as well. Kevin Atlanta 2.0 here. What happens early sets the tone for the rest of the race. Caution happens early on. Well, you're going to get ready for a restart. Toyota Chevy, road number 1. Toyota Lockout back to road number 2. Swearigan Burrows back to road number 3. James Thurston now needs to win out, and he's the next one. But for Braden Muvik, you know, you had all this talk, and Daniel Mosteller is probably watching this right now, somewhere in the middle of Virginia, heading back to Connecticut, and he probably has a smile on his face because it just gets that much easier for him. He might just have to start the race come Chicagoland. Yeah, at this rate, but still a long race to go, and depending if the 42 maybe putters around, attrition might help too, but yeah, it's going to be a little bit easier now after that, but still, race isn't over, long way to go. What, 148 laps left in this thing? A lot can happen. Toyota Chevy, Toyota Lockout, Toyota Chevy back to road number 3 as we get ready to try it again. Thurston, Champagne round out the top 10. Spencer Burns trying to get back to his race winning form. Last win was Atlanta. That was all the way back in February. Not just for the NR Cup Series, but for NR9 in general. 2 wins in his full year of racing here. Looks to make it 3. Lights off this side by. Let's get ready to go back green. A lot can change. A lot can happen. It's not over until that checkered flag waves. Let's find out what's next on the plate as we get ready to rally back from the Irish Hills. Green flag back in the air. Down into 1 and 2. New Bigging on that outside is now lined up with Basin all the way to the outside. Now goes William Schmidt up to that third seam as that opens the door downstairs for Burrows. No contest this time. Basin jumps out, but now Schmidt going on the charge up top, side by side with Burrows. Barbagallo behind them in the 56 as they roll into 3. Burrows has got a big shot right here. He's going to drive it down into 3 and 4, and he's going to hang it loose on the inside lane. That's William Schmidt on the outside, still riding wide. The question is who can catch the Red Bull? Dylan Mason back to the line. He's going to lead another. Looking like almost 3 wide for second now. Schmidt looks up top. Burrows on the bottom, New Bigging in the middle. Everyone continues to jostle for spots. It's now Barbagallo up to the 5th place position. Burns is right behind him, has sucked right to the rear end. Here comes New Bigging on the outside looking for a run. Not able to get it. They work their way back down the back. Side by side for the second spot. Burrows on the charge, trying for 3 in a row. He's going to take second going into 3 and 4, right on the bottom, right behind the Red Bull. Barbagallo back to 5th. Burns back to 6th. James Thurston has creeped up inside the top 8. Douglas New Bigging is trying to find a way through, but he's stuck with the machine on the outside lane. That's William Schmidt with a drive off corner exit. And joining this group behind him in 7th is Wilkerson in the 43, but up front, Basin slowly getting a little bit of a lead as New Bigging looks way down low on the 62. 1 wide, way wide. down off corner exit. That may have been Joey Stone as you watch the 06 of Burns jostle it back to the inside. Has found his way around New Bigging. Is going to really drive it in and may lose that spot to the 7. Nonetheless, William Schmidt is there. One thing he's looking for, that's the race lead.
He's rolling on the high side, has a hole. Now he's side by side for the lead as we cross the start finish.
The crowd erupts in cheers as it's Toyota on Toyota down into 1 and 2. Masons with the brace on the inside lane. Schmidt with the roll on the outside lane. And William Schmidt, like he did at Homestead, will take the lead working lap 11.
No contest, pulling away down the backstretch of 79. Really fast. Going down to 3 and 4, going to take that high side again. Well, everyone else goes as bottom feeders.
Wilkerson up to 5th. He's one of the PBR boys that love to race here in Michigan. Swipes to the inside of Burns. Brings it back wheel to wheel. It's Burrows back to 3rd. It's Burns in 4th on the outside lane. Under pressure from the 43, working their way back to 1.
A little gap building between the top 3. Wilkerson trying to close that down. He has the spot for 4th. Up front, Schmidt keeps it about a lane off the bottom. Basin follows behind, way up towards the wall.
Yeah, he's trying to find some type of forward momentum, but just can't get it done, and he's going to be under fire from that 62. Burrows is there, and Burrows is looking hungry to find that spot right back. He's looking cat birds at him right now. You still got Wilkerson back to 4th. Burns jostles back to 6th. James Thurston's back up inside the Elite 8. Everyone continues to go up and down that chain, working lap 13.
A bit of 3 wide blocking in the back of the pack there, but up front, Schmidt controls this race. Now Burns, he's going to try the high side, see if he can emulate.
Has to watch out. That's Chase Schaffer right back in the middle as he looks for a way through. Oh, not so fast. He was trying that outside lane at one point. Now falls it right back in line. One to the wall, Ethan Stanley.
Goes down low, collects it now into the corner. Gonna go a little higher this time as they're 3 wide ahead of him.
Yeah, he's gonna allow Kevin Champagne to open that gap back downstairs. Dylan Bason's been able to find a groove to close back in. The only thing is, it's not enough to bring the wheel to wheel, but the convoy is there. Top 9 under a second, working their way back to 1.
It might be a train now, but they're all waiting for somebody to open the door. 3 wide now, just outside the top 5. And Burns looking for more.
Yeah, he's struggling back to the middle. Chase Schaffer nearly had a date with the outside wall. He's able to save it off corner exit as New Bigging has dropped like a rock from 2nd to 7th as he continues to foil it up. That's the 14 on the outside lane, and James Thurston has now cracked up inside the top 7.
It's looking like that groove up top. It's starting to be the fast one. Those guys in the bottom cannot defend it. Up top now, double file through the pack.
We looked to have a spin in the back, but that was not the case. We keep it wheel-to-wheel action. Here comes Basin on the bottom. Oh, he drove it in too deep. He's going to go up to that 2nd lane, opens the door for Burrows downstairs. Schmidt's able to ride it off corner exit.
Top 9 under a blanket, racing up front. Contact between the 54 and the 7. Now you got the 62 and 43 going side by side for 3rd.
Burrows downstairs. Wilkerson just wants one thing, that's to go to victory lane. Rides high, trying to find 3rd. James Thurston up to 5th. He will not stop looking. Dylan Basin has it fighting and clawing to find the lead right back. But Schmidt crosses the bow again, back to 1.
Going high, looking low now is Basin. Side by side again for the lead through 1 and 2. Behind him, Wilkerson getting the run up top over Burrows.
Basin is there, looks to squeeze top. He does, shuts the door on the 43, but opens the door for Burrows on the inside lane. Chevy on Chevy, that's back wheel to wheel. Chase Schaffer looking to make up ground, but the 14 is back on the move, working lap 16. Basin's got a blinking issue. If he doesn't fix it, he could get a penalty. Keep an eye on it as they work their way back to the stripe.
Passing lap cars now. That's another obstacle these guys are going to have to face, but side by side for the lead. Basin takes it in entry, but Schmidt has to run off.
Yeah, he's still looking for a way through. Wilkerson now squeezing. That's going to be tight. It's Burrows on the inside lane. It's Wilkerson on the outside. Chase Schaffer wants to throw his hat in the ring as they jostle around. Spencer Burns down to the white line, trying to find a way back through. Won't work out. Everyone continues to try to hunt down that 79.
For a moment, they were 3 wide for the second spot, blinking again as the 4, having more issues as the top 3 get ahead.
Continue to watch on for it. Burrows is there, looking, peeking, still no deuce. Wheel to wheel again, gets the crowd back on their feet. Basin downstairs, he's gonna drive it in wide. Schmidt forced to the outside lane as one sideways. That's Sheffer. Can he save it? He does. But everyone continues to brace and find a way back through. Separates them. Top 2 still under a bubble.
And it's looking like the bubble might burst. Basin down low, but Schmidt again defends it.
Yeah, he's going to try to find that drive off corner exit. Schmidt will get back to the gas earlier as he will be able to hold on to that top spot. Wilkerson, Burrows, that's 4 drivers under a blanket. They can breathe, but they can also fight now without having to worry about what's going on behind them.
And about the top 15, all staying in contact. Basin way up to the top. Not going to make it work, but he's still second. Might get a big run.
He's got a run here, no doubt about it. 9 the difference, 7 the difference, and it's the drive to the inside that's going to pay off. Toyota on Toyota, non-sponsored versus the Red Bull. Down on the inside, Basin continues that heave, but the multi-groove racing will not give in. Schmidt's last-ditch effort to drive off corner exit.
And he's going to get that drive off. Coming down to the line side by side. It looks like the 4 is going to lead that time.
He's got him. The question is, do you get him down to 1? Schmidt still will not give in. He's on that outside lane, making it difficult for the 4. Basin started this race up front. He would like to stay there. Schmidt, the drive off corner exit, bring it back wheel to wheel.
Side by side again. Schmidt noses ahead. Now gets half the car ahead, but down low, Basin dives it into the corner. Now Schmidt halfway up the track.
Wilkerson back to 5th. Kevin Champagne back to 6th. Spencer Burns back to that 9th position. They all continue to jostle. Schmidt again on the outside lane. This time, he will lead this lap as he just inches out the 4 back to the line.
Neither willing to give up. Entering 1 and 2. The 79 goes way up to the top again. Basin a little higher. Tries to do the slide job. Not going to work.
One of the best races of the season, at least within the first 21st or 21 laps of the opening segment, and Schmidt this time will be able to clear. The question is, what does Basin do? This time they're going to change it up. Schmidt to the inside, Basin to the outside. They continue to go inch by inch, left and right as they work their way off a 4.
A slide job to a crossover now. Basin down low on the bottom again. Schmidt up top. Basin's going to lead this time by, but Schmidt has the outside lane.
Lap machine, Nathan Scott to the outside. Well-respected move. Is going to try to get out of the way. Schmidt may be out of luck right here. All the way to the outside. Never mind. Basin had a lift, and he's going to jump it wide back wheel to wheel.
Side by side, they switch sides now. The 79 low, the 4 high. Now Schmidt dives down a little bit lower, a lot lower, and Basin tries to pin him down.
He's on that outside, but look who's come to play. Anthony Burrows back to 3rd. James Thurston up to 4th. Back nose to tail, they work their way back to the line. Snaking back to the start-finish line. Dylan Basin reigns here at Michigan, working lap 23.
But this is going to be something we see all night. Lap cars won't know where to go because you can run anywhere on this racetrack. We saw it cost the 79 there. Who's it going to cost next?
We watched back on Wilkerson. That was a hold on to your seatbelts moment right there. I mean, he just got crossed there by Justin. Justin's back on that outside. We watched that wheel to wheel as we work our way back down into 3 and 4. Basin, Schmidt, Burrows, and Thurston. That's your fast 4. Schmidt just wants to get back to it, but he's going to be under fire with that 62.
Yeah, that 62 is coming fast now as we go to lap 24. Coming up behind him, less than a car length, trying to set him up. 79 of Schmidt gonna look low again, maybe towards the middle, and Burrows gets a lane higher.
8-9 the difference for James Thurston. A bleep by Basin. Burrows down that inside lane. Now brings it back. I think Basin may have just caught that outside wall. James Thurston still looking for a way through. Burrows looking for the 3-peat as he works his way into 2nd.
And runner-up, he could make that happen. Still has half a second, a little less to make up on Basin. But still, the 79 looks low, trying again, 14 and 10, going for 4th.
Well, we've been talking about a lot of changes here tonight already. Opening 25 laps have been outstanding, but what's changed on the right side of your screen? Top 5, they're up in the green. Champagne up 7, Thurston up 13, Schmidt up 1, Burrows up 4, Basin back top of the board. You look at that, you continue to watch it, but what's going on? Burns back to where he started, adjusted up 30 spots. A lot of changing and a big difference from Homestead back in December.
Well, and on top of that, you're going to definitely have people coming up through tire strategy, through fuel strategy, through just hard racing as well. So as we roll here side by side again, but they go single file. And now Schmidt going to look low. Thurston has it up top.
Yeah, he's struggling right here. I think he tore those tires up. You can tell the lap times are way off from what they have started with. But with all that rubber coming off and Burrows getting quicker, the question is, did Basin fight too long? This is two machines right under a bubble. Kevin Champagne back to the outside. That's James Thurston on the outside as well. The SHR machines will sneak on through. James Thurston is trying to have that glass slipper fit. He won at Fairgrounds. He's up to third. We said he may have to win out. He's doing just that, or at least should we say trying to, as they work their way off corner exit.
But he's got to defend Champagne, who's coming with him. Schmidt fading, but that 10 car is getting stronger as the run goes on, and Burrows is making up more time up front.
Yes, he is. 4-3 the difference. What was a 1 second advantage has now dwindled, as Basin may have to get ready to brace or hope for a caution. Things continue to change up. Toyota, Chevrolet, and more continue to work their way off corner exit. Wilkerson's been a delight to watch up in the top 6, but Burrows is there as he burrows his way down to a 4-5.
He's using that high line. 1 lane off the wall, while Basin's about a lane off the bottom, and you're seeing them come together quicker throughout the run, now less than 4 tenths between them.
3-2 the difference. Burrows is there, now down within a 3, down within a 2-9, just inching and clawing his way forward. Basin has just given up a second unanswered as that Toyota continues to lose time off corner exit. Burrows lost time on entry, gathers it back up, but how much time do we see another swap for the lead?
But they're pulling away from the rest of the field now. Almost a second between second and third. Burrows right up against the wall now, maybe half of a lane between the wall, and he's going to get a huge run down the front stretch.
And it's going to work out. What's going on in the back? It's a mosh pit. That's Burns on the bottom. That's Wilkerson on the outside. Oh, Burns in the grass!
Saves it, gets in the grass again. He's going to lose a lot of spots, but he saved his car.
That could have been horrible. He could have just shot it back up the track and taken a lot more guys out with him. Back to 11, still 3 wide. Ethan Stanley dead sideways off corner exit. Burrows down to the 2-2.
Side by side, you watch these guys battle, but yes, up front, the 4 and the 62 are coming together. Now a lot of distance going between them.
They're trying something. Burrows just lost a lot of time. He's in the wall. He caught the outside safer barrier, and he is down within a second. Maybe now looking to a second and a half. It's going to be the sigh of relief for Dylan Basin as the entire right side of the 62 is caved in.
Ton of damage in that right front as well as the side of the car. And now he has Thurston and Champagne side by side behind him, trying to make up even more time. But can he recover is the question.
So many things to watch for here at Michigan. It continues to change up. Drivers getting loose off corner exit. Drivers struggling with the handling. And that's what makes this car track combo oh so great. How about Dominguez just stuck in the middle? If I'm not mistaken, maybe in a bad, horrible spot as Wilkerson again looks back to the inside.
Yep, but they're going to get a bit of a draft with that 56. Now the 88 looks low. And you got to go back to what Burrows was doing. He was way up at the top, and when you're at the top, there is no room for error up there. The wall is right there.
That's a big switch, and we continue to see that as Barbagallo has worked his way up to 8. James Thurston in third will clear Kevin Champagne. Reminder, let me rephrase that. Left side of your screen, you see 2 different numbers for drivers as we have some contact way in the back. Ethan Stanley back there with Barbagallo. Burns will find his way through. It's the ice skating portion of the race as we're under a long green flag run.
Yes, and then finally getting that long green run. Burns trying to make up more time that he lost earlier. Now side by side with the 15. And at the moment, running 10.
Well, Wilkerson's down that inside lane, lined up there with William Schmidt. Schmidt up the 5th. Burrows back to a 16. Kevin Champagne's going to try it again. He's back downstairs, but watch the run. Thurston's going to get off corner exit. The outside lane's great, but you have to watch out for that wall.
Well, and I noticed, too, the leader, Basin, running up towards the wall as well. And, wow, we got contact. Schmidt and the 88 and the 5406 take evasive action.
I think he hit that outside wall again. Multiple drivers with issues, and now it may get worse. Swearage on the inside. Barbagallo nearly into Justin Champagne. Champagne slides wide. Stanley trying to hold on to it, slipping and sliding on a Tuesday night working lap 33.
And the big winner in that, Spencer Burns, up to 7th now, making a recovery from earlier. But side by side, up towards the front, Kevin Champagne and Thurston still going for that 3rd spot.
Yeah, they're within 2 seconds, and Basin can breathe here, but he's struggling too. We've seen him get all the way near that outside wall and have trouble getting it down off corner exit. Continue to watch, one back in the wall.
Didn't go around, but
Blaze
was
Crawford.
close.
Remember, let me phrase that. That was Max Brady. Remember, he made contact with Braden Mubbick earlier in this race. Took him out of contention. And we continue to watch on. Max Swearage in down off corner exit. Back to the inside. Lot to watch out for in the middle of this pack.
Lap car on the bottom lets them all go by. Smart move on his part. But still, everyone going side by side still. Burns up to the 7th spot, but look up top. That's Ethan Stanley trying to get the run.
He's going to try to get it right here. I don't think he'll be able to get to the quarter panel, but he will have that daylight back on that inside lane. Wilkerson 5th. Oh, another slide. Barbagallo back down to the inside. Matt Swearengin on the outside. Whittle wheel back to 3.
I think there was contact with the wall back there. 56 and 15 get together. No real damage out of it. Everyone keeps going.
They've been going at it for a while, though. I've been seeing them getting into each other left and right. Still no damage at all on both those Toyotas. And the Toyotas have been quick here tonight. You hate to take a fellow Yoda out. The only thing is, if you're Burns on that bottom, you just lost another spot. Ethan Stanley up to 7th, and Burrows has been able to close back into Basin. With that damage, I wonder if this 4 is way out of the groove. He is no speed off corner exit.
No, and you can see the difference of speed now. About 1.4, maybe 1.46 is the difference between them, but the 62 coming again.
Justin Champagne, Kevin Champagne continue to work their way forward. Thurston back and forth. He lost one of those spots. Couple machines slow on the racetrack. Max Steinmeier down on the inside lane, but out of harm's way. We stay green. Burns is there, lined up, and you still got the 56. Barbagallo has been using the muscle to put himself up inside the top 10.
Well, and look at the difference of tires here. Earlier, we were talking about Schmidt going for the lead. He is 14th, 6 seconds, over 6 seconds off the leader, Basin, and at the moment getting passed again by Schmela.
You see Justin back in that outside wall. Struggling to hold on. Chase Schaffer back down on the bottom. That's Whittle wheel. Burrows has not left that outside lane. Remember, he hit it once, but he's still closing on in. That's a 1-4 the difference. Whittle wheel just one more time. Chase Schaffer on the bottom. Max Swearengin up near the outside wall. Whittle wheel, that carries right back in front of him.
And Crawford coming up behind him in the 3 car. He is pulled away from the 2 he had passed earlier, and now looking for room with this pack ahead.
Still looking, still trying to find their way back through. Ethan Stanley on that inside lane. Douglas bigging into the outside wall. Everyone's slamming that right side.
This is more like Darlington than Darlington was. Everyone getting a stripe at the outside wall. 3 car looks down low now on the 88. Looking for the 12th spot.
Blaze Crawford's able to find his way back through up to 3rd, right in front. There are Justin Champagne. Lap 38 of 155. Burrows still looks to close on in, but this chunk of machines from about 5th all the way back to 15th, they're struggling, and they're struggling bad.
They're struggling, and they can't get away from each other. It's either somebody's running their line, or they can't get the right exit, or whatever, and it's keeping them all in one tight pack.
Crawford back in 12th. Shamela back in 14th. Justin again is caught in the wall. Mari Shamela has made a name for himself in NR9. Trying to become an underdog, kind of like how Schmidt was back in around fall of 2022. Shall we even say summer? Right now that 18's work to the inside has gone quicker and quicker as the months go on. Keep an eye on him because it's just a matter of time before he strikes victory lane.
Looking for that 13th spot behind them. 3 wide between Schmidt and Armstrong, and it looks like Brady as well.
Joseph Armstrong up to 16th. Burrows is still there. Kevin Champagne trying to make up time. He's right back down the backstretch. But this is where you start wondering, okay, slipping and sliding, that's great. We've had one caution. What's going on here? Pit stops, they're coming soon. They're coming very soon. We're working lap 40 this time by.
And we went green around lap 7. So we're closing in at least on about, I'd say halfway, a little over halfway through this fuel run. I would be surprised the next 10 to 15 laps we start seeing people pit.
Max Swearigan up to 10th. He's lined up and loaded with Schaffer. They all work their way back into 1 and 2. Thurston up near the outside wall. What we thought may be a single groove later in this race, right now, working lap 40, it's very much still multi-groove. I think actually the grip is way up near that outside wall.
Well, we might have some people pitting already, but up front, Burrows and Kevin Champagne are fighting for that second spot now.
Wilkerson in the middle. New Bigging back down that inside lane. Still looking for that drive off corner exit pit road. Has a mighty amount of machines as Burrows has company. Kevin Champagne is there as he works right back to the rear heading to 1 and 2.
Some of those cars that were falling back pitted, but up front, Champagne right on the left rear of Burrows. Now looking down low, Burrows gets loose. It's going to open the door for him.
That goes back with a wheel, and Basin has tracked to about an inch off the wall. Keep an eye on it. At least that was that as it was in 1 and 2. It will be that way back through 3 and 4. Kevin Champagne back to the middle. Burrows on the outside lane. We didn't expect the aggression on drivers this early, but we got it. And now I think it's starting to see the price being paid as it's wheel to wheel for that second spot. Burrows not giving in, back down to 1.
But Champagne is surging now towards the end of this run. Dives down to the bottom while Burrows gets maybe a half lane off the wall again. He's going to try and get the run off, but Champagne might clear him. He does with ease.
Does it masterfully as well. Kevin Champagne now rallies to second. Thurston back and forth. 3-5 the difference. New Bigging. This is where the strategy comes in as New Bigging has got a lot of damage on that left side.
And you're seeing through the pack, only about the top 15 have stayed out. Others pitting, trying to get the fresh tires earlier in the run. Up front, Kevin Champagne with clean racetrack, making up time as New Bigging and Swarton jump in. Oh, man.
That's close. I think he wanted to lock it down, but we'll keep an eye on it. May need a caution, not sure. Max Swearigan in as well. We continue to watch them rally, but I think he wanted to kind of just park it, heading down into the entry of pit road, but he slid big time.
We can't wait up now because only about a second is between the leaders of Basin in first, Kevin Champagne in second. That car is coming quick.
Yeah, he's on the move. 9-8, 9-7 the difference. Back down to that inside lane as Dylan Basin is going to get ready to be under fire. He was under fire before. This time it's going to be the green GoDaddy machine getting ready to strike. Wheel Burrows on the inside lane. Thurston continues to work back there in fourth. That's Barbagallo on the outside making up time. He's there. They may want to pit together to see how it goes.
That 56 on fresh tires, and you can see it. The difference between being out a full run and just pitting is immense, and they're going to make up a ton of time over this run.
Down into 3 and 4. Burns back there in 6. He's under fire as well, or should we say soon to be, as drivers hold that wheel to wheel. Basin, Champagne, Burrows and Thurston, that's the fast 4. Ethan Stanley back to 5th. One coming in, that's going to be the 14.
And here comes Burns. He might have spun it. He does. He spins and gets into the wall.
No caution.
Terrible mistake for the 06 on that one. Up front, though, you're seeing the 4 start to go away as Champagne is under a second away. They go through lap traffic, or should I say lap traffic now, going through them with those fresh tires.
Well, drivers continue to change. Some did not put the right paint schemes on, but nonetheless, things continue to work their way through. Dylan Basin on pit road.
And it looks like the 54's coming in too, coming in quick.
Ethan Stanley way to the outside. You just see how much they're struggling getting onto pit road.
Wow.
Marty Shamela.
Sliding, all of them sliding on.
Warren Tires, that will make the difference as they all work their way back down in. And on the pit road, Dylan Basin back to 6th, Shamela back to 7th.
Ooh, wow.
Blaze Crawford, Joseph Armstrong, all in as well.
Oh,
Kevin Champagne will take the race lead.
It looks like the 3 missed his stall, too.
Yeah, he's been struggling a lot. I've seen a lot of these guys make mistakes left and right. Still see them working back down off corner exit. Kevin Champagne's coming in.
And so is Burrows. So who is that leave on the track at this point?
It may cycle out as Schaffer. No, Schaffer's in as well. May cycle out Frank DeAngelis in the Los Bolos Hermanos Chevrolet. That's exactly what's going to happen. Frank DeAngelis may take this lead, and he will, top of the board.
He leads that lap. Is anyone else that's reading out at the moment, but does Joey Stone stay out? He is reading at 5th as we run.
Yeah, now in that 4th spot. He's on pit road.
So Frank is the only one on track. He's trying to stretch it.
Yeah, he's going to try to make it all the way through. You can see a lot of these guys still cycling. TCB still on the racetrack as well. Line back up. Justin is now back to 2nd. Frank's the next one to pick. So when they cycle on out, Justin Champagne will be your race leader.
Tell you what, you can't miss that 69 car. That is bright, bright yellow. Comes around to lead another lap. And you know what? If he wants to save tires or gas or whatever to try and make these runs longer, he's got 21 seconds of distance between he and Wilkerson.
Well, this is... Oh, sorry. I hate to cut you off there, but...
Wilkerson pitted early, and he's leapfrogged those guys up front that were ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, they're all lined up right here. You can still see how this goes down. Max Brady, I don't think he wants to give him that spot as they play limbo on the front stretch. What I was saying before is, this is our attrition race. This is our real attrition race of the season. You know, some drivers advocate, they wanted the Gen 4. They were worried about the car, and you can see the drivers that struggle with... Oh, Brady!
Contact! Oh, the 43's in the wall! Now he goes down low. Oh, he misses him. No one else is collected.
And Jacob Wilkerson will continue on forward. Let's look at the rest of this season, how it's gone so far. The drivers that mainly struggle, no shock here. They're already out of the race. Man, it continues to roll. That's TCB into the wall. Nearly to the wall, should we say.
And he's going to dive down low and let these guys past him now. A lot of action building up.
This will be the hardest race of the season. I think it's already proven that it will be the hardest race of the season. Look at drivers that are already out of the race that have struggled this season. Max Steinmeier, he made a mistake. He's already out, and that's what makes this so interesting from a viewer's standpoint. It's going to be the best of the best, and you cannot make mistakes. It could have come down to who can make the least amount of mistakes to go to victory lane.
And you're seeing the difference in tire strategy now. Champagne and Barbagallo pitted again before those guys up front. They've leapfrogged them. The entire running order now has been shuffled up. There's some stragglers who are a lap down or close to a lap down staying out, but you're seeing the shuffle in the running order as they run.
Well, this is your top 3. Champagne, Barbagallo, Basin, Thurston back to 4th. Champagne back there in 5th. That's going to be Kevin. Nonetheless, Barbagallo has worked his way back to the rear. He's going to jump to the outside.
Loose.
Nearly into the wall. And Dylan Basin is there. 3-car battle for the lead.
That 56 was bad. Lose saves it, loses time, but not his race. Basin looking low. Now Champagne jumps down ahead of him, but he can't hold the line. That 4-car is steaming ahead to the lead.
Yeah, he's going to find a way through. Champagne's going to have to get out of town, and he's going to jump to the outside lane. Barbagallo into 3rd, puts also the 3 of Brady right behind him, trying to unlap him. So make that Crawford in the 3, trying to unlap himself. Everyone shuffles their way back to 1 and 2.
Crawford, your lucky dog, having a really, really fast machine right on the back bumper of that 4. He's going to look low, try to get his lap back. Might not be able to do this time. Nope, he's got the run.
Yeah, Basin's on that outside, still wheel to wheel. You look behind. It's Thurston on the outside lane now. You're going to allow that machine go on through. That's Kevin Champagne. So the best of the best are here. These are the boys you want to watch out for. Top 5. They know how to hold on to this car. They've stayed mostly out of trouble, and they'll have what it takes definitely to go to victory lane if this goes green all the way.
Well, and it's about to be a battle now for 3rd between the Champagnes. Only a 10th between them. That looks like they might be side by side. Not for long, though. Kevin's going to go right past Justin, and so is Thurston.
Yeah, he's still got Champagne working his way forward. Wilkerson, Quill back to 9th. All trying that slide back down off corner exit. Who's in the back? Still rolling their way forward. William Schmidt was really good early on. Needed a caution for how badly he tore those tires up. Well, he's got fresh ones now, but is back into 10th. May need a caution to go to victory lane. Barbagallo's still back there in 3rd. But the only thing is, Kevin Champagne has rallied into 2nd.
Yes, he has, and he only has about a little over a second between he and the leader. It's a matter of if he can run him down. Is he an early run car or a long run car?
Swearengin back in 8th. Burrows back in 6th. Wilkerson back in 7th. They all want John. More lap machines in front. Basin having to get out of the way. That's still that 88 to the outside wall. Was that Justin Champ? No, that's Dominguez. Once again, some drivers didn't put the right schemes on or have the right numbers. Nonetheless, Dominguez has been struggling, torn up on each side.
Yep, and he's going to be right in the way now. Looks like that 10's going to get underneath him. Only 9/10 between the leaders. And
no shock, the drivers that struggled throughout the season are the ones struggling now just because of how hard this combo really is. We look at it right now, I am not surprised Basin's up there and he's leading laps.
But you're seeing even early in the run, they are extremely loose throughout the pack. Doesn't matter if you're first or if you're 31st. These cars are handling horribly tonight.
Thurston up to 3rd. Has found his way in once again. Needs to win out to win this championship. Barbagallo in the middle. If he wins, we'll let you know how many points he may be out. But as of right now, it's looking like he may have a shot. Nathan Scott to the outside, way out of the groove, a lot of damage for him.
Battle for 4th between Barbagallo and Burrows. Burrows looking low, and they're gonna get a big run. He is down at the bottom, lap car up top, right next to the wall, but the 62 has the way.
Yeah, he's still trying to find his way back off corner exit. You just see Barbagallo shaking that rear end to try to have something to stick, but Kevin Champagne is now down within a 6-6, so he is closing in quick. Keep an eye on that as this night continues to go ahead and roll. Working lap 55 next time by, which is this time, should we say, 100 just left in the tank.
That Ford car running around now has 7/10 between he and the 10. But still in the corner, looking like the 4 is going to go a little bit lower while Champagne tries to get the run.
Burrows back to 4th, Barbagallo back to 5th, Kevin Champagne is closing on in. Ethan Stanley up to 9th, Quill up to 11th, his first start. Looking to go ahead and work it all out, but these drivers have not stopped that wheel to wheel. There's where Justin is, and he just got passed by Max Swearengin.
And it looks like that 15 is gonna start pulling away. Wilkerson wanted to get by, couldn't make it work as they pull up on Dominguez.
Dylan Basin, race leader, back to the stripe. Looking to get something done. Justin Champagne under fire. That's going to be Jacob Wilkerson. 1 win in NR Night in America. Still looking for 2, but look at all that right side damage.
Still with the damage, though, the Dynaco Chevy has the run on the bottom, is going to take the 7th spot, sets its sights now on Swearengin for 6.
Max Swearengin back in 6 on the bottom. Barbagallo lined up. Thurston, though, in 3rd. Is closing in both on the top 2. He's down in a 213, so if we do see wheel to wheel for this top spot, which we may, James Thurston's going to be there with a big opportunity.
Oh, and he's got Burrows right behind him as well, and top 4 seem to be the ones in contention, and it's Champagne trying to chip away at the lead that Basin has. Basin now gets about a lane off the bottom. Champagne only a half lane higher than him now. It looks like Basin's trying to diamond the corner exit.
Oh. Things continue to change. Schulte down the backstretch. We continue to see that 3 of Crawford lose that rear end. Just a sight you usually don't see here a lot. How about this? Thurston under fire. Burrows finding his way through.
And Burrows is going to get it clear. No crossover this time by. Up front, the leaders, top 2, less than half a second now between them.
Things continue to change. Barbagallo back there in 5th, kind of in no man's land. Justin Champagne back in 8th. Kevin Champagne has to find his way around the lap machines. Bason's got company in front.
There
goes the 3.
And he's into the leader.
Caution's going to wave. Schulte went for a slide, no damage.
What about Basin?
Hey, I think he got damaged on the hood.
Wow. That was unexpected, to say the least.
I don't know if he got into burns or not. We're going to have to watch the replay, but we said he doesn't have the best reputation here because he likes to do a lot of things that some consider out of the ordinary. And I believe this one may have just been it. And we will have a restart. I'm worried about Dylan Basin with that hood. I mean, that's going to be tough to see.
I thought for a second he was going to fly right under the 3. But you watch the 3, comes down low. Burns is ahead of...
Oh, yeah, pump the brakes. That's nothing to do with Crawford.
Wow.
I don't think
It hit him on the roof. That wasn't the hood. That was
did
the
the damage
roof.
register? That's the question. I don't think it did. Let's ride on board.
Hold on to your
We're gonna
butts.
go on the nose.
So watch on the bottom. Burns gets ahead of him, and as soon as that happens, hits the brakes. 3 goes
I
down
don't know what
low.
Spencer's doing there.
Wow.
Right on top of it.
Jeez.
You heard the thump. I mean, it was loud. I think he's still okay.
Just a little left rear damage.
I think that was from previously possibly
Yeah.
getting into someone else. But pit road's open, and this is going to change this race completely.
Yeah, we got probably, I'd say, around 19, 20 on the lead lap now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's going to come down to.
And we're over a third of the way through this thing now, so you're starting to see how it's shaping up. Under 100 to go. That pit, we'll see who gets off first. A little blink from the 4, nothing too major on that one, though.
He might be on pit road for a while. This is going to open the door for Schmidt. We know Schmidt's got a short-run car. I am really curious to see how this one fouls on. Now, Anthony Burrows winning the race off pit road.
And the 06 is around on pit road, so continues to be interesting for him.
Spencer Burns not having the best season.
And did Frank D'Angelis stay out?
He's staying out, but he's definitely coming on back in. That's definitely a strategy.
Getting a lap more of fuel, maybe leading the lap as well, or just wanting to get on TV.
Frank D'Angelis lined up. Colby will go ahead and get his lap back. Same with TCB. And we will get ready to try it again.
It looks like we got 2 more between D'Angelis and Burrows that could. What a good-looking Long John Silver's car that is.
Let's get ready to try it again. D'Angelis, Burrows, top 2. Champagne, Wilkerson, top 4. D'Angelis will go ahead and come on in, as it will be Gavin Austin with a lot of nose damage. Rolling his way around, he'll go ahead and get the wave around. So it'll be Burrows, Champagne, Wilkerson, and Champagne, your fast 4.
And as we roll now, I don't see the 4 on the leaderboard. Top 20 even. He's still on pit road, just got lapped.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Basin just got lapped. He's still on pit road.
Oh, man. Yeah, so that was going to go ahead and tear things up.
That's a shame, too. He was putting together an incredible race.
Lights off. Top of the pace car. Chevy on Chevy. Chevy on Chevy behind, followed by Chevy Toyota. We get ready for a restart. Just one more time. The second caution out of this race, and we get ready to roll.
Well, you look up at the top side. 2 Champagnes up the top, Kevin and Justin.
Burns, D'Angelis still on pit road. They get ready to roll back out. We are past under the 100 to go. Burrows is looking for 3. This is me big. You look at left side of the screen. James Thurston's got a rally right here. Big win. Got to win out. We said before, you have to win out. Yeah,
he does have to win out. He is going to be part of that group that's been up front for the most part.
Mason's engine's gone. He's out of the race.
Gosh. That's heartbreaking. That's terrible.
Let's get ready to try it again. Well, we still have a race to go ahead and see who's going to go to victory. And the question now is who's going to be able to do it. Back to the start-finish line. Can Kevin Champagne get his second win of the season? What about Burrows? Back underway here from Michigan. Down into 1 and 2. Wilkerson back and forth. It's still got that inside lane rolling. Max Swearigan back in 5th. Looks underneath. Champagne trying to time it all up. It's still the top 2 pulling away back to turn 2.
Yeah, top 2 got it now, but it looks like Justin's got the run up top. He's going to go into 3rd. The battle is for 4th on the backstretch, and they're lined up top.
Barbagallo to 7. Stanley to 8. Schaffer, Schmidt, top 10. Look at Max Swearigan. Mac down on that inside lane, able to hug that yellow line. It's still Jacob Wilkerson in the middle. Champagne coming down off corner exit 2-2. The difference, they worked their way back to the start-finish line.
Real close there. Justin went right across the nose of the 15. Now they're side by side for third. Swerging up top. Justin down low with a look from Thurston behind.
He wants to find his way through. Max Swearigan. How about the crossover back down to the inside? Chevy on Toyota, holding that wheel-to-wheel back off corner exit.
They got those four Mr. Feelgoods, and they are working well for him. Side by side for third again. Swearigan now has the nose out.
It's still Schaffer back to 9. Schmidt now up to 9. Schaffer back to 10. As Champagne has rallied back to 19. Max Swearigan in third. Champagne, Thurston, Wilkerson still under a bubble. They work their way back to the line.
Has him cleared for third. Now it's side by side. Thurston side by side with Champagne, and behind them they're double file.
Everyone continues to find a way back through. Armstrong up to 18th. Thurston's got to watch out.
They're
Not
close.
a lot of room between each other as Champagne has now worked his way into that second spot. The difference now a 12. Maybe a 14th. They take a different entry point into 3. They continue to dogfight for third, fourth, and fifth.
Top 12 within a second of each other after this restart. The 88 goes way up top, and now side by side for second. Now third is Swearigan and Thurston. Thurston look for second. Down low goes Kevin, who's going for the lead.
He's got it right here. It's going to be that wheel-to-wheel now. Carry back down into 1 and 2. Kevin Champagne drives it in deep. He's able to clear the 62, but goes wide, very wide. Here comes Thurston. Burrows back down on that inside lane.
Burrows trying to pull off the crossover move. He's down low, but the 10 has cleared him. Kevin Champagne definitely in the lead now.
He's trying to hold on. You see Burrows again. That big fight back down that inside lane will hold that yellow line. Thurston is still creeping on forward. Swearigan is there. Back to the outside. That's wheel-to-wheel looking for third.
He's trying to make it work, but it's opened the door for Ethan Stanley in fifth to jump up with this group as well. Top 5 starting to pull away, and the 14 goes down low on Burrows. Not going to make it work.
James Thurston looking, peeking, is there, not able to get it. Burrows back to that inside lane, looks for the fight. Right to the rear end there at Kevin Champagne. Back nose to tail, nothing changes as they work their way back to 3.
And Kevin's going to look a little higher now. Burrows goes down lower, and way down underneath the line for a moment was Thurston.
Yeah, he's trying to go ahead and hold them both off. You can just see those machines ducking it below that with that left side. The only thing is Max Swearigan is there as well. Here comes Burrows back to the inside. Wheel-to-wheel for the top spot.
Side by side for the lead. Now he gets the run down low. For the moment he has it. But Kevin's going to get that run up top. The 10 car going into the backstretch with the lead.
Kevin Champagne is there. Does he get the drive off? He does. Now Burrows is going to slide in the second spot. Thurston has lined it up back nose to tail. The heave, the drive, the send down into 3 and 4. Brings it back wheel-to-wheel. It's a Chevy Brigade into the top 3. Lone Toyota make it 2. Line up the top 5.
Burrows thought to make it 3 wide. Thinks better of it now. The 15 following him. Thurston set aside on the bottom, but he's still fighting for that lead. 3/10 between the top 5.
Last thing you want to do, that's make a mistake to ruin everyone else's race. Burrows on the outside, creeps around the outside of that 14 machine. It's going to hold it back wheel-to-wheel. But for Kevin Champagne, he loves what he sees. Everything going wrong in the mirror. Nothing but clean racetrack in front.
Thurston tries down low. Now Burrows is going to go way up to the top side, try and get a huge run on the front. He's going to make it work.
Justin Champagne nearly put Wilkerson in that outside. Oh,
he's in the wall.
Kevin Champagne around.
Into the pack. Is anyone going to hit him too?
No, they won't. Caution's going to wave.
It looked like Burrows had that huge run, and the 10 tried to defend it. At least that's what it looked like. We'll see on the replay here, but big damage for that GoDaddy machine.
It's interesting to see great drivers get taken out, because then you ask, now what?
Yeah.
Mavic early on, avoidable incident. Basin, avoidable incident. Right here, I think it was a racing incident. But for Kevin Champagne, not happy whatsoever.
We got to look from the back bumper of that 10 car if we can. That'll tell the full story.
Unbelievable. He's going to change things up again. Well, we're working halfway. We're not halfway just yet. But for Kevin Champagne, the nose is bent up, that rear may be bent up, and this will go ahead and change everything. Let's look back at it again. Coming down off corner exit, watch the 62.
He looks high and just
Right reared him.
Yeah, that's not pretty.
Should I have to say the line again? Right rearing someone in a stock car race, including on ovals, is equivalent to getting hit by a pitch on purpose.
Yeah. I would not be happy if I'm that 10 car. Let's see from the side view maybe if there's a better.
He just got
he went down.
Yeah, Thurston gave him room. We've been seeing a lot of mistakes out of good drivers, but how many times do you have to say there's a reason why certain drivers don't like this car? It's because it is unbearable to drive, which is why the viewers love it, because it's entertaining. You know they're on the edge every single lap. You know it's difficult, and when you see drivers that continuously make mistakes in the Cup Series, go to the live chat and just talk about how unbearable it is after they cracked out on their own wrongdoing, that's how you know also, for the ones that are in the back, this was not a race they were looking forward to.
Well, and you got Frank staying out again. I think his strategy is just stay in the back and let them all crash ahead of him.
Thin the herd out.
It's working. It's working so far. Watching down pit road, let's see who wins the race off pit road, because that'll probably be who is going to be leading the next run for a while.
Douglas Newbigging in. Schmidt is in. James Thurston wants to fight for a championship, and he will lead us back to the green flag.
And he'll be ahead of Burrows, Stanley, Justin Champagne, and Max Werrigan in the 5th spot.
Let's go hypothetically here for the points.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's going to be the big thing I want to go ahead and see here, because he was out, right? He was completely out. Demo's going to make it, but we added it up.
But he will be close if he even has a top 5 tonight.
Yeah.
Even like a win, even better. It's going to be an incredibly close championship fight as long as he stays out of trouble. That's the big part. That is the huge part. If he gets in trouble, yeah, he might have a shot at it. But, you know, it's like that one guy who's running 5th in the points and has to have everyone crash ahead of him to win.
Mathematically speaking.
Yeah, he'd be mathematically in. But he needs to get this kind of run. He needs to be up front, lead laps. He needs to lead the most laps if he can. Win, top 3. You can make up 59 points a race. If you make up, well, you can't get the pole back, but if you can make up 58 points in this race, that's going to go a long way to winning at Chicago.
Well, this is going to change things up. Some machines will go ahead and get the wave around. Chevy, row number 1. Thurston, Burrows, Stanley, Swearigan. Toyota lineup back to row number 2, and we get ready to try it again. Burrows with a mistake. Takes out one of the best contenders here tonight. Starting to be a common theme for drivers making a mistake. Let's get ready to try it again. Time to go green.
So Thurston came in here 59 back. If he makes up 58, he'll be 1 behind Masta.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I was saying, okay, we looked at each other like, wait, is he sure that he's good? So, okay, so now we know.
Well, and you got to bring in Newbigging, too. He's only 3 points behind Thurston.
No.
Yeah, he's close.
I thought this was over when Mubbick wrecked out.
No, and then Schmidt is only 12 behind Newbigging.
Oh, man, this isn't over. This is not over.
Armstrong is only a couple behind Schmidt as well. We could have a 5-driver championship if guys like Thurston, Newbigging, Schmidt, and Armstrong stay out of stuff. And looking at the way it is now, as long as he didn't finish dead last, Mubbick may be a very outside mathematical contender too.
And then you look back to Bristol where he could have finished the race, and that could have been a big difference as well. This is why we say it's never over. We looked at each other like, wait a minute, it might be over. Then you just added it up.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be one interesting night if the glass slipper can fit for James Thurston. Let's find out. Back underway from Michigan.
Good restart there for Thurston. He's going to pull out way ahead. The battle is between Stanley and Burrows side by side for second. Burrows, he got him! And he's going to save it. Yes, he will. Wow.
Unbelievable. Still holding it back. That's nose to tail. Stanley is finding his way out of Dodge after that one, but he's stuck 3 wide. That's Max Swearinger back to the inside. That's Kevin Champagne. No, let me rephrase that. Justin Champagne working his way on that outside lane. Max Swearinger in second, 3-1 the difference. One to the wall.
That's Champagne. He's going to fall back now. Burrows goes way up top, 4 wide for a moment. And up front, Thurston trying to pull away, but that 15 might be reeling him in a little.
Yeah, exactly what's going on. Toyotas have now come to play as Stanley has rallied back to third. Jacob Wilkerson back to fourth. It has got everyone on their feet as we are not even halfway to this race. Joseph Armstrong wide to the inside, finds his way through. Stanley's there, creeping on the rear end of the 15.
First time we talked about the 20 all night, he's going for a top 10 spot. Stanley looking for the third spot with Wilkerson and Schaffer right behind him, top 5. Burrows back up to 6.
He's up to 6 and moving. This is New Bigging on the bottom there with Schmidt. I think the news rained down that 79's hair because guess what? You got a shot at winning it all, but you have to do well here at Michigan. The stakes are high. This is why this race was planned here. And right now, it's a dogfight. Top 3 under half a second.
Ethan Stanley with the run up top now. He's going to go side by side with that 15 car. Going for the second spot. Thurston only 3/10 ahead of him. The lead is up for the taking.
You still see Thurston back to the middle. Max Swearinger on the bottom. Wilkerson back to 4th. Stanley back in 3rd. Ethan Stanley looks to the bottom, can't get it. He looks back to the outside. We'll get to the quarter panel. The question is, does it stick? It does not. Swearinger shuts the door back to 1 and 2.
Well, the 54 is going to look up top now while the 15 goes on to the bottom, but they're both making up time on Thurston in first.
Burrows back to 6, Schmidt back to 9, Barbagallo back in 10th. What's going on behind? New Bigging slicing that rear end, trying to find his way through to the inside, but it's still the mosh pit he has to worry about. Swearinger under fire. Ethan Stanley around the outside will give it again to the 15. And he's going to clear him. Back to the corner exit, back to the start-finish line.
Under 3/10 between these two and the leader now. The 54 pushing that 15 down the front stretch. They're going to go down into the corner. Thurston up high, down to the way bottom is Swearinger, and Stanley trying to get the outside to work again. They're all under a blanket up front.
Burrows underneath. That was close with him and Chase Schaffer. Schaffer's been able to clear, though. Everything continues to hold on. They will bring it back wheel to wheel. Problem is, top 3, they're there, and they're not going anywhere as Stanley has worked that outside lane masterfully. Swearinger will cross the bow again. Top 3 does not switch out. Lap 79 to 155.
But they're getting the run up top. 15 looking towards the top. Thurston has to block them. All under a blanket again. Now the 15 is going to look higher. Each one looking higher than the other.
Max told me earlier this season, I just want a win to cap it all off. Right now, he's there and he's looking for it. Top side won't work out. Back single file. Daylight downstairs. Does he take it? He does not. Top 3 all shuffle their way back to 3 and 4.
Stanley is glued to the back bumper of the mystery machine, but that machine is getting a run off the corner. Now only 11, now only a 10th, less than a 10th. He's looking for the lead up top.
Max Swearinger is there. Can he clear? That's Thurston getting it done.
Crash in the back. Big wreck in the back.
That's Joey Stone.
Big wreck. We see someone went to the stratosphere. That's a 92.
Baker, another 10 machine. This time it is Kevin Champagne again.
We got to look at the 92 on that one. Wow.
And Jacob Quill will end his night going up and over. Caution is going to wave. They're fighting. They're fighting.
They are. They're fighting front and back of the pack on this one.
Remember the testing we did for Homestead? We saw the racing like this. We thought, oh man, this could be the most underrated event.
Yeah.
Well, they decided to just wait till June, or should we say late May, to go ahead and do it because this is unbelievable.
It is.
Now you have the storylines. If you're the viewer, you have the storylines. Okay, where's Schmidt? He needs to do well. Where's Thurston? He needs to hold on to first. You know? And this is just wild.
Let's see what happened in this one, because we don't usually have too many cautions in the back, but watch the 92 here.
Burns again.
Just watch up top.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Huge hit for the 25. But yeah, the 92 went up and waved at the Rover on Mars.
Yeah, there it went. Well, you know, sometimes it happens. I remember our great friend, Darian Gilliam, BFM, leading at Daytona. He's about to break the winless streak. He crosses the bow with the driver in second. He decided to go way up there. And I mean, it was way up there.
To the beyond.
And he took about, I don't want to say 17 guys with him.
Well, speaking of guys going with somebody, that 14's pitting, and he's taking the whole field with him. And once again, Frank DeAngelis stays out. It's working for him. He's 14th now after that wreck.
Thurston is in. Best opportunity. You know, I kind of want to dial these guys in just to go ahead and let them know. Let's get the championship possibilities again, just so we can start talking to them here before we get ready to go back green.
Well, so you got Thurston, who is minus 59. He can make up almost the entirety of that with a win tonight. New Bigging is at the moment back 62, though he got the pole. That's a bonus point for him in his corner. Muvik now was way back because of this. He was, well, not too nice, 69 back. He's going to have to hope that he has at least 7 guys finish behind him on the night for him to even have a mathematical shot at this championship. As for Armstrong and Schmidt would be 5th going in tonight, and he is 74 back. He's going to need to finish way up towards the top as well. As we run, he's 11th. And then Armstrong after that is 80 back, which he's going to need to improve upon that 16th place run. He needs to win and then hope for some good stuff to keep it like that. He has to finish well within the top 20 to even have a shot at this thing. So he needs to be way up there. And from there, everyone else is pretty much eliminated or was not able to make the race. So,
let's talk to him. James Thurston, it's John. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I don't know if you've been hearing the broadcast or not, but if you win this, you're the championship leader.
Really?
Yeah, he just said really.
Yep.
He didn't even know. You're 59 points back. You can get up to 60. You didn't start on pole. He didn't start on pole, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope, so he can tie for the lead.
Yeah, so you can tie for the lead. And if I'm not mistaken, what about, wait a minute, fastest lap as well? He has to make sure he gets the fastest lap.
Yeah, that too.
Well, you got the championship shot. You win here, you're basically tied with Mosteller. What's going through your head right now is to get the one to go?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm just scared that Barbagallo took 2. I just got to get in front of him, and after that, I'm going to be okay. But yeah, we just got to make it the rest of these 73 laps, and hopefully we'll be leading at the end of them.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. That 14 machine looking beautiful out there. Hey, that win at Fairgrounds can carry here to Michigan. You got other championship battles out there. If I'm not mistaken, New Bigging does well. He's going to be right with you. Muvik, I think he's not getting anything at all. And if you look at it, Joseph Armstrong would have to win. So it could be you, New Bigging, and Mosteller heading to Charlotte. But you have to do well here. Hate to put the pressure on you this late in the season, but it's going to be a lot of fun, man. Hey, good luck out there.
Thank you. Hopefully the interview won't curse me.
Oh, yeah, I'd hate for that to happen. But good luck, nonetheless. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to try this one again. Working lap 83. He knows this is going to mean a lot more than maybe he could have thought heading into this race. Chevy, Toyota, lined up and loaded. What's going to happen in the second half? Let's find out. Green from the Irish Hills.
Not a great restart, though, for him. Now Barbagallo is going to go out to the lead. Stanley's going to follow him side by side for second.
He's got that inside lane. The Toyota's raining. Oh, switching!
He's right up the wall, into the pack. Did no one else hit him?
No, they didn't, but the caution's going to wave again, and that's going to end his night.
Had a great night at that he was having, but it
got into him.
I couldn't see. I messed up earlier. I do not want to mess up on somebody else again. Let's see the replay on this one. But it looked like somebody got into his left rear and sent him right into the wall.
Man, yeah, that's it. This was going to be his race. He said it too. This would be his best shot. And you're Thurston, you're Schmidt, you're saying, oh, not again. Because now you got to go back to the restart and hope for no one to get into you.
Well, and you're kind of in this no man's land of the race right now, strategy-wise. You're not close enough to the end for really anything effective to be done if you pit and nobody else does, or vice versa, because we got about 70 to go here. Watching the replay.
Is it Burrows again?
Let's see. Looks low. Okay, look at the 88.
Yeah, Champagne.
It looked like it closed up maybe a little bit, but...
Yeah, that's Justin. Justin just sent him home.
Yeah, watching from the 88 here.
We're going to slow it on down.
Well, he's definitely looking towards the middle as they run.
Well, I think Wilkerson didn't make it easy on him. You can see Champagne was eyeing the middle.
If we can watch back on it, it looked like the 15 went down a little bit. Watch him on the seam. He's coming down. Wilkerson's coming up.
Down.
That's a bit of a pinch.
Champagne was carrying so much forward momentum, too. I mean, you look at it, like, he was clearly going to find a way through. I mean, but the thing is, if you're Max here, you've already committed to the bottom. I mean, what do? Check out and hit the wall on your own? I mean...
Yeah,
you may not be out of the race, but
right into the wall. Oh, 0-0 into it.
I think you got Murphy.
A huge damage on that Aaron Stream machine.
Daniel Murphy into the outside, as well as some more damage. Well, we try this again, and we will continue to try this one again as we are down to the last half of drivers left in this race.
And can confirm Braden Movick will finish 40th tonight, so he is officially eliminated from the championship.
So that's it.
He's out.
Let's get ready to try it again. Barbagallo, Thurston, Stanley, and Schaff for the fast four. Pit road still open. Frank DeAngelis, Justin and company, all lined on in. You know, we've given this car a lot to look at, but it has been nowhere near the front when it matters. Well, he's got damage.
I believe behind that sixth there, is that the famous Gustavo Frank?
That is Gustavo Frank.
Great manager of that restaurant.
I know. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's seven chains, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
4 or 7, but nonetheless, the greatest fried chicken out there in New Mexico. Los Polos Hermanos. As we get ready to go ahead and try it again. Toyota, Chevrolet Ford. Oh, Chevrolet, Toyota back there with that second row as we get ready to try it again, and Max Swearinger missed the shift.
That's a tough way to end out the race too. You're basically on the defense on that one, and then just falling back, and that happens. It's a tough deal overall, but as I keep going here, 56 lines up down low, 14 up top. And we're going to line them up, set them up again.
Chevy, Toyota. James Thurston has to try this one again. Well, let's go ahead and talk about who's having a great night. Gavin Austin up to 10th. Doing great. Andrew Schulte up to 11th. Stone up to 17th. Still got DeAngelis up there. Some of these guys coming back down on pit road. And we will try it all again.
Well, and you got those championship guys to watch. Thurston in second. New Bigging in 7th, and behind him you got Schmidt in 8th. He's an outside shot, and Armstrong keeping it alive in the 13th spot.
Well, it's time. Lights off on the top of the pace car, which means we go green back this time by. If you're Thurston, we can continue to say he's nervous. We all know for sure, but you heard it in the voice on the live stream. I would say relieved, but also know there's a lot more at stake. Stanley there going for a win. Burrows there just going for a win. As we get ready to try this all again as we work our way back down off corner exit. Things are getting ready to change as Barbagallo gets ready to bring us back to the green flag. Time to ride. 56 downstairs, Thurston on the outside, Chevy, Toyota, Chevrolet back to row number 2. Chevrolet lockout back to row number 3. Let's try it again, green from Michigan. Shamela back to 9th, his single filed it out. Top 2 under a breakaway down into 1 and 2.
Thurston diving down to the bottom again, side by side for the lead. Barbagallo trying to keep it under him up top. He's going to do it. Still side by side down the back.
Everyone continues to shuffle about. Joseph Armstrong way off the pace, and see ya. Thurston downstairs, trying to go ahead and get a heave. Barbagallo on the outside lane, brings it back wheel to wheel. Schaffer puts a nose on through. Back there in third, looking for a wheel to wheel.
The 56 gets the run, though. Coming down the front, he's going to lead the lap. He clears the 14. Nope. 14 is not going away.
Thurston was not going to go ahead and yield. It's back wheel to wheel into 1 and 2. Barbagallo on the outside lane has the 14 parked downstairs. Toyota, Chevrolet, still back wheel to wheel, yawed out on that right side.
And so's the 5 looking down low. 3 wide for the lead down the back stretch, going to 3.
Thurston trying to hold on and brace. Schaffer goes for the send. He's going to drive it on in. It's going to stick as Barbagallo tries to get something rolling on that outside lane.
He's going to clear the 14. He has the lead for now, but the 56 has to run side by side, 3 wide again to the line.
Barbagallo, he's going to get that one. Schaffer in the middle. Thurston went down the flat. This time he takes the lead down into 1 and 2.
And this time he might not give it back, but he's going to have to. The 5 has the run. The 56 screaming up on the way high side.
Barbagallo the drive off. Stanley watching on, 3 wide, back to 2 wide with the wheel to wheel, mostly single filed out behind. Chase Schaffer looks to fight the good fight, shuts the door downstairs, and he's going to hold on to the lead.
And Ethan Stanley has joined us as well, side by side with the 56, with the 14 is underneath the 5.
Ace lost that rear end. It's still wheel to wheel, nobody giving in. Schaffer's going to lead that one. Thurston's downstairs. If he can just send it in and make it stick in 1.
Well, he's sending it in now, but it's not enough. Schaffer up top getting the run. Stanley getting the run behind them, almost 3 wide for third, but now double file among the top 6.
Barbagallo watching on. William Schmidt watching on. Here comes Thurston again to the inside. Oh, it's going to be a fight all the way to the inside lane. Schaffer's able to hold on, but he went wide, and this may affect him off corner exit.
The 5 was mighty aggressive there, and it paid off for now. Single file among the top 2, but the 14 going down low, trying to get a draft from the 54.
Chase Schaffer has held on. He doesn't care who's going for what at this point. It's all or nothing as he drops it back downstairs. Ethan Stanley has dropped it back downstairs as well, runs it wide. Burrows watching on. Everyone runs back to the outside lane.
And everyone's loose off the corner as well. Oh, looking 3 wide as Burrows won't make it happen. The 54 is Stanley looking for second underneath Thurston.
If you're Thurston, you got to think long term, just get to Charlotte, and he is not giving these boys any inches when it comes down to corner exit or corner entry. He runs wide. You may want to get out of Dodge at this moment. It is not looking good. Lap 93, a 155. Stanley, Burrows, Thurston, Barbagallo, top 5.
Burrows now looking underneath Stanley. They're both coming up on Schaffer, the leader, only 2 tenths behind.
Burrows on the bottom, Stanley on the outside. Stanley another drive. This time he might be able to clear that Chevrolet, maybe not. Schaffer goes top, shuts the door, still leaves the opening on the bottom. 3 drivers flying their way back through 3 and 4.
And the 54 looking way up at the top, trying to get the run off. Burrows underneath Schaffer now, who has cleared the 54. Side by side for the lead, coming to the line.
Stanley wants the middle. Stanley wants the outside. Stanley's not going to be able to get any as Schaffer just shuts it right on the nose of the Toyota. You still see Burrows battling on the bottom. He will try to take it right back. Thurston watching on in 4th. Behind Barbagallo, behind New Bigging. Everyone sliding off corner exit.
Stanley for a moment looked to make it 3 wide. Didn't have the room to do it. Now the 5 and the 62 dead even down the backstretch. Entering 3. Burrows dives it down low. Schaffer trying to get the run up top, and Stanley trying to pounce on them both.
It's going to go to the middle. That's his last option right here off corner exit. This time it still won't work out. Another blink by the 5. Brings it back wheel to wheel. Burrows will lead that lap. The question now is, what's next as they work their way back to 1?
Well, what might be next is Thurston, who's caught this group back up again. Side by side for the lead. Nothing's changed too much. The 62 up towards the top, gets loose off the side of the 4 and now, or the 5, and Schaffer is going to get the lead.
Here comes Stanley, 11 the difference, 10 the difference, maybe 9, 8, 7 the difference. He is there, and he jumps back to the middle, wants to drive, he's going to get off corner exit.
But way up towards the top, you got to keep in mind that Burrows is getting the run behind him. All 3 of them under a blanket again. looking low. Stanley has it. Burrows has it, looking 3 wide again.
It's gonna be that ditch down to the inside. Burrows used to make it stick. Stanley lost the rear end, and Scheffer's gonna lose the lead through 1 and 2. They're still dogfighting off corner exit.
He might not lose it yet. They're still side by side down the back. The 54 with the nose out front, but Schaffer getting the run.
Burrows back to third. Schaffer on that outside lane, and you see them still going at it with that wheel-to-wheel. He will not give on in as Thurston has closed on in back there in fourth. Wheel-to-wheel action has not gone away. Lap 96 of 155.
Stanley got the lead, but now Schaffer looking down low underneath them. They switch lines. The 5 going down towards the bottom. The 54 staying just above him, while Burrows and Thurston now are right glued to the bottom.
See that Toyota just trying to get that drive right back off. How about William Schmidt there in 6? He's coming looking. That's Barbagallo way low and out of the way. Schaffer is there. 9 the difference. Schaffer is there now. 12 the difference as Burrows is going to hang it loose on that outside lane.
And he's going to try and get a huge run. He's done this all night. Gets a run up top. Cleared by the 5, but he goes down low. He has the run, going past the 5 car and looking for more.
He's going to be looking indeed. He can still see Stanley just on that outside lane holding on. It's the same song, second verse for him. What happened a week ago could happen today. One to the wall, Barbagallo. Wilkerson involved. They all keep it straight. We stay green.
And up front, joining the top 4, Douglas Newbigging. He has to have a huge night after winning the pole to stay in the championship fight, and he's keeping pace with the leaders.
Shamela in 9th. Burrows on the outside. Schaffer right in the middle. Thurston there in 4th. It's going to get tight. It's going to get loose. All trying to hold on to it back off corner exit.
And Ethan Stanley loves this. He's pulling away from these guys as now Schaffer has got the second spot side by side for third. Is Thurston looking low? He's looking for more now too.
Yeah, he may get turned for mirror driving because he swiped the nose of that 62 twice. Once, okay. Twice, you're asking for it. You can see Schaffer on this point of the track. It's going to pay off, but he has just been using that mirror to block left and right. He will hold on to second, but for Ethan Stanley, he's able to walk this way back to 3 and 4.
As the race goes on, the cream rises to the top, and now Schmidt joins them as well. 3 championship leaders up front now in your picture. 14, 7, and 79 behind the battle for second between Burrows and Schaffer.
You see them still dogfighting left and right. Schaffer, this time with a bigger shot. That's in the middle groove. He could get the drive off if he doesn't make a mistake. The problem is Burrows is sliding wide. Nearly got into the GoDaddy Chevrolet. 4 drivers still under a blanket.
Couldn't even fit a piece of paper between them, but that doesn't matter now as Thurston looks low on the 62. All 3 take different lines again and are 3 wide again.
Yeah, you can still see Schaffer holding that middle. You got Burrows on the outside lane. James Thurston is playing it patient. He has completely switched the dial from what he was doing earlier, and this time he just sits in 4th, watching and waiting, knowing 4th is better than getting a DNF. Keep an eye on him back down to 1 and 2.
Well, he's still looking for 3rd as well. Down on the bottom, but now the 7 a Newbigging. He's going to get the push off. Loose up the corner is Schaffer, but he keeps 3rd.
Single file from the back to the front. Everyone else continues to shuffle about. Stanley back down into 3 and 4. Thurston, a massive drive back down on entry as Schaffer has rolled the table. He's rolled the dice as well. He's in the middle, but he might lose this spot. He does. Guess what? 55, 54 laps to go.
Thurston finally gets the 3rd spot. Burrows ahead of him now is under half a second from Stanley. The 62 is running down the Duncan car.
Wilkerson in 10th. Burrows has about a 4-4 the difference, make it a 4-3, and he does get that drive off corner exit. Does Thurston gain in as well? He does. So we see a 7 the difference. It could go back to 3 drivers under a blanket, and guess who is sitting there in 4th? Douglas Newbigging just will not give up.
Yeah, he will not go away. So now you have another championship guy looking to the high side of the 14. looking now down low, crosses over behind him. It's another fight among championship leaders.
It's going to be a big one right here. Last thing you want to do, take each other out. But what's going on up front? Burrows still 3 the difference. New Bigging 7-2 the difference. We saw a lot of smoke coming off of 3 and 4. That was from the right rear of Ethan Stanley. What was a 4-9 the difference a lap prior is now a 3-4. He lost a full 10th from one mistake. Keep an eye on it because Burrows is barreling on in.
He gets a bigger run into the corner, but Burrows has the exit covered now. But behind him, out of nowhere seemingly, Douglas Newbigging is joining this fight. So too is Thurston. And there's Kevin Champagne in 5th.
Yeah, he's back to 5th. He looks to close on in again as he's rolled his way back to the rear into Thurston. Schaffer in 7th. Wilkerson back to 9th. Anthony Burrows now 3 the difference. Make it to 7 the difference. Looking to 5 off corner exit.
And he's gonna get even closer as they go. Now it's about even, only a quarter second between them. Behind him, Newbigging closing it on him. He's gonna go down low while Burrows goes way high and Stanley right in the middle.
This is gonna be big. If he get the drive off corner exit, he could go ahead and diamond it back to the inside, but Newbigging is gonna make it tough. Tough indeed it is as they both work their way back single file headed back to 1.
Single file, but maybe not for long. Burrows has caught the leader. Newbigging with him. Thurston coming up 2. It's a huge battle for the lead out of 2.
Everyone continues to cycle it on in. Back to the inside of 1 and 2. Stanley on the outside. Burrows on the bottom. 9 the difference. Maybe 8 the difference. Looking it is. They continue to jostle for spots as Burrows looks for a way through. He jumps top. Stanley jumps to the bottom. Crowd on their feet once again.
Way up towards the high side, trying to get the run. Douglas Newbigging down low, going for the lead. Contact. They're into each other. Newbigging in the grass.
Caution's gonna wave.
Don't slide up the track. Keeps it in the grass.
This has been, if you're a viewer, this has been the most entertaining race of the season.
It has to be at this point because it's as unpredictable as a super speedway with the racing of a track like Atlanta or Darlington at this point.
Wow. And there she goes, but not out of it. Just make sure that engine's still rolling. We've seen a lot of guys with engine issues.
Yeah, he is still top 15 at this point, even with that.
You just want to make the dance. That's all you want to do right now if you're Newbigging. Just want to make it, because you're there. I'd say a top 5, top 10. A lot of guys have been taken out of this race for a lot of different issues as Colby goes for a slide in the grass. But I'm telling you what, man, this is scary, and it's going to continue to get even more scary.
We learned from the 42 at Bristol, you got to stay out there because those points mean a lot.
Because here's the thing, Muvik left because he thought his race was over. If Muvik didn't leave Bristol, Muvik,
oh my gosh, he just got taken out in the pits.
Well,
Schaffer went down into him.
Did they get into each other before? And Colby hits the inside wall. Well, let's go see what happened here, and this could tell the tale. I don't know what that was about. Stanley just came down.
And they just get hooked together for a moment, and the 7 gets the worst of it.
Ethan Stanley just kept on going. It's going to be tough. It's going to be drama-filled, but we knew this was going to happen when you called me all the way back in December of 2021. I said, hey, you want a drama-filled season? You want an entertaining season? We got it here. And now here we are.
Yeah. It's like TNT. We know drama.
Man.
This changes everything all over again. Burrows is the leader. Stanley, Thurston, and Champagne, those are the 4 that stayed out. And now they're going to be on older tires than these guys behind them. And there are 48 to go. Now the fuel window is 40 to 45. 3 laps might not seem like a lot.
No.
But that's 6 miles. That is a big track. But
Schmidt back to 5th too. That's another thing I want to keep an eye. I'm so focused on this championship battle. I know you're focused on that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying is that Schmidt, I believe he just pitted, right? So he is going to be 48 laps or so away, unless these leaders pit, trying to make it even closer. And that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, they're going to come right back down on pit road. What, didn't they pit last time?
Well, they all did, but what this does is it keeps him at the edge of the fuel window.
That's right.
Like, it's outside of it, but we get some more caution laps.
So you're telling me, after everything that's gone down tonight, okay? Yes, we're down to about the last 18 of the 40 drivers that attempted this race. We know that. But after everything that has gone on, you're telling me we have a fuel lottery?
We have the potential for one, yeah.
Oh, man.
You're looking at these guys up front. Top 9 stayed out. They'll be going a lap further. That does include Schmidt, but Schmidt probably does have a faster car than all of these guys up here, but say maybe Schaffer. So he'll have the buffer room to save if he needs to do so.
I love the COT.
Same.
Wow. You start this race off by a championship contender that we all thought for sure maybe the only shot of coming in, right? Of getting it done. And then all of a sudden he gets taken out. Then your race leader, Dylan Basin, taken out of nothing that was his fault. Then you say, wait a minute, we may have a bigger championship battle than we thought. Once again, consistent points. And all this drama and all this uncertainty has come on down. And you throw the fact that they may not be good to go on fuel. If we go green all the way, I hope we go green all the way, because now we don't know what's going to happen.
No, we don't. And the thing is, at any point, it can all change. Everything can get turned on its head in one restart, in one wreck, or with 2 to go.
Toyota, Chevy, Chevy, Toyota. Let's try it again. Green from the Irish Hills. DeAngelis back in 7th. Kenyon back in 8th. Works his way in the Elite 8 for the first time. William Schmidt takes the lead, rolling down to 1 and 2.
This was exactly what he needed to get the lead. But up top, Schaffer with the run. He's going to come up to block Schaffer in the wall.
Oh,
27 around. Off of New Bigging.
It's down to the inside. They're going to keep it green. It's off the racing surface.
That was off the nose of New Bigging. You see the damage.
They continue to roll on. Schaffer on the outside lane. Drive down off. Wilkerson there as well. Back to the line. 110 out of 155.
And look who's up in the top 5. Gavin Austin, that Long John Silver's car, in 5th.
Schmidt down to the inside. He's going to try it again. How about Wilkerson? Sticking his nose on through. We thought his race was over around lap 15.
Not over yet. He's 3rd. He's looking for more. Schmela right behind him. A new cast of characters up front with the changing strategy. The 18 looking for 3rd.
Yeah, he's looking. He's peeking. Still looking for a way through. We know the overlay's a little bit different. He used to drive the 29. 18 right before this race started. But for William Schmidt, it's 9 the difference, and it is go time. Looks to the inside. Peeks to the inside. William Schmidt looking for the lead. Back down to 1.
Looking for it. He's out, nose out. He has it for now. Diving down low into the corner. The 5 of Schaffer looking up top. 79 has the lead for now. It's dead even. They almost get together.
Schmidt downstairs. Schaffer off the outside lane. It's going to work out again. Chevy, Toyota, Shamela, Wilker still lined up. Schmidt with the drive, back down to 3 and 4.
Well, and you know what you don't see is some of those guys who just pitted, they're sticking back a bit. They're not making up ground on these guys.
Yeah, that's the big thing too. I think I know why though. Saving fuel. They have this idea that it's going to go green all the way through. And guess what? You want to win, you're going to take risks. And you just see it right here. Going hard is taking a risk. Taking your time is taking a risk. Wheel to wheel for the lead under a fuel lottery. That's the biggest risk you can take right now, and Schaffer's not giving in.
Well, and they are dead even down the backstretch. Schmidt has the advantage for now. Schaffer getting the run up top. That 79 gonna go down low. The GoDaddy Chevy up top trying to pin him down.
He's got it right here on that outside lane. William Schmidt on the inside lane. Loses the lead. 11 the difference. 12 the difference. Here comes Shamela and Wilkerson.
Gavin Austin behind him. One that is moving up is Burrows. He's in 6th. Just got past the Champagnes. DeAngelis 9th and Stanley going for 10th with Thurston.
Look at Justin dirt tracking it back down that inside. Just hugs that yellow line. Rolls wide. Burrows gives him room. Schmidt wants the lead right back. To the outside looking. To the inside looking. To the lead. Back to 3 and 4.
But the 5 has the line he needs to get the run off and keep the lead. The 79 fighting it down low on that yellow line. Comes up the track, has the lead for now, and the 5 gets the run to the line.
Wilkerson fourth. Schmidt, he's got him. He's going to lead that one as Schaffer is still dialed on the outside lane.
He's looking low now. Has it down just a little bit off that bottom yellow line, but Schaffer trying to get the run up top. He will.
Wilkerson watching on. Shamela back to third. Burrows back in sixth. Continue to shuffle in and out. Kevin Austin under fire. Burrows wants to lead right back, but he's back in fifth. Here comes Schmidt again to the bottom.
I don't know about the guys in the back, but the ones up front, they're not saving fuel. They are racing hard for the lead. Looking back from Schaffer. This is Schmidt coming up behind him, slowly inching up to him, less than a tenth between the top two.
Still lined up, nose to tail. Schaffer watching on. Still trying to clear, maybe not. Schmidt on the bottom. Wheel to wheel, that's going to carry again.
He popped that apron for a moment, but he's got the run. Has the lead now, and is starting to pull ahead.
He's got him. He's got him right here. He's just got to drive it down into 3 and 4. I don't know if it's going to stick or not.
That 5 car is not going away, and behind him, those 3 are coming up too. Burrows down low behind them for third.
Well, how about this? Top 6 under a second. Still not giving in. William Schmidt on the inside lane. Chase Schaffer has given it his all on that outside quarter panel. You can just see them still on that wheel to wheel. Well, look at it now. Half a second. Jacob Wilkerson is reeling them on in.
Schaffer now getting the run up top. 79 got a little bit loose. The 5 is going to go to the lead now, and he's going to clear him.
Chase Schaffer's got it. But Schmidt is going to drive it in deep again. He's got to hold it right here. Schaffer drive off, yes indeed. Still, that wheel to wheel, that will not give in. Carrying back to the start-finish line.
They're like magnets. They keep coming closer together. Now the 5 chases the 79 down the hill. Side by side, dead even again. The 79 has the advantage. Dives low while the 5 has the lead, and now Schmidt gets it back.
Yeah, Burrows is there as well. He's watching on, creeping on, looking for something to stick. Shamela back in third, just wanting to go to victory lane. What a sight it would be for an underdog story, but Burrows is right there and looks to take it right back.
And they're not losing any ground either. Now the 5 tries to block down low. Schmidt just goes lower through 3 and 4, has the nose there, gets the run off, and they're going down to the line.
Chase Schaffer on the outside. William Schmidt. Oh, man, that was close, but not close enough. Chevy Toyota won't stop there. Ethan Stanley, Jacob Wilkerson, James Thurston. Remember the drivers that pit? They're just puttering along, and right now this race can very easily go green all the way.
Yeah, those guys who are running up front, guys like Thurston, New Bigging, and even Barbagallo, all of them seem to be holding back. Whether they're saving fuel or not is what remains to be seen, but it could be the case.
William Schmidt on that inside lane. Schaffer on the outside lane. That's going to get close. Up near the quarter panel. He's able to hold on to it, though. Chase Schaffer's going to lead another one. Laps fading away.
They just get closer and closer every corner, whether it's front to back or side to side. Now the 5 is in the wall a little bit, but keeps it up top.
Well, we talked about the fuel lottery.
Yes.
That was the big thing, but what happens when you get 20 laps on these tires? Will some not be able to go all the way because of the tires? We're also under a tire lottery.
Yeah, we are, and those guys who are taking it easy maybe for fuel are also saving their tires too, maybe?
That's the big thing, because look at Frank. He's back to 11th. New Bigging really hasn't made up ground back in 10th. Joe's just sitting there. Dominguez just sitting there. I'm telling you, it's going to be the smart one that goes to victory lane here tonight.
Well, up front, we have the fast ones. The 5 and the 79 still going at it. Burrows now has gotten rid of Schmela, and now he is looking for the lead, stalking these front 2.
Look at Burrows watching on. Toyota on the bottom. Chevrolet on the outside. Chase Schaffer, another great drive off. This one will lock in the top spot, but Schmidt still will not give up. Burrows looking for the 3-peat. He jumps to the outside through 3 and 4.
And he's going to go about a lane off the wall, a little lower than he's been most of the night. The 5 gets the run off up top, and the 62 gets even bigger run off.
They still see Schmidt watch on the bottom. He may get Door down to the bottom. No, maybe not. trying to go ahead and open it. 3 cars under a blanket, back to 1 and 2. All flying wide, 1 to the top, 1 to the bottom, 1 to the middle.
Yes, all 3 in different lines, and they have not gotten away from each other. The 5 and the 79 like magnets to each other, but the 62 trying to find a hole. 5 chases the 79 down, blocks Burrows up top, gets a push, and now Burrows goes way up high.
Yeah, he's trying to find a way through. You can see Schaffer thinking about shutting that door, and he's going to do it again, but this will open the door for Schmidt on the bottom, and he's going to take it for the difference. Find the difference, fading back down to the inside.
Big block down to the line. Now the 5 goes out to the 79, blocks again on the 62. He's mirror driving, and Burrows still takes advantage of it.
He will not let them go quietly into the night. Anthony Burrows will like to shut the story of saying, hey, I just went 3 in a row. Here comes Schmidt, back to that outside lane. Schaffer still has him pinned on the outside.
Burrows still looking down low, a 10th between him, side by side for second. Does not have his good line on the top side. He's going to fall in behind the 5 now.
Chase Schaffer locks it shut in front of the Impala. Top, bottom, Schmidt still there. Burrows will take the bait. He gets the drive. 3 wide down to the 1.
Schmidt has the bottom line. Middle line's covered by Burrows, and Schaffer up top. Coming up on a lap car of Burns. He's looking up top now, but still, it's going to be Burrows. No, it's going to be Schaffer. They're still side by side. Doesn't have him cleared.
They have to find a way around that 06. That's exactly what they've got to do. But the only thing is right now, that single file's going to pick him off one at a time. How about William Schmidt? Big drive in, still knows the tail.
Coming here, almost 30 laps to go still. Burrows now clear of Schaffer, but not getting too far away yet.
Yeah, this race is not over whatsoever. 1 lap machine in front. Burrows to the inside. Is he able to get cleared? He does. Schaffer to the inside. Is he able to get clear?
Not yet.
Not yet.
3 wide. Lap car staying up there. Gets down low, gets past him. Now Schmidt going past as well.
And Burns will fade into the outside wall, out of harm's way. Here comes William Schmidt back on the bottom.
And Kevin Champagne has joined this battle as well with Schmela and Ethan Stanley. Champagne right there with the 06 clears him as well. 18 dives down low. The toughest lap car to get past all night, like Ryan Newman.
Oh man, that was... We stopped for a moment because we all got nervous. I think the chat stopped for a moment. We're all just worried. But guess what? Next time behind 30 to go. What you have is what you have. Do you have the fuel? Do you have the tires? They're going to single one to the wall. Chase Schaffer catches the right side. The question is, what do you have left? Because it may not come down to a wheel to wheel. It may be coming down to who can hold on to the fuel and who can hold on without blowing a tire.
But if they can't go the full fuel run, does somebody take a chance, pit early, and try and use those fresh tires to make up ground?
Well, what happened last night in the Xfinity race? You know what happened. Some stayed out the same, some came in. Austin Hill was hoping they'd all run out, but
Never
didn't.
worked.
And that's the big thing right here. Burrows pulling away. You could just go ahead and hover at 150 miles per hour if you get to a massive lead.
Well, you're looking, and those guys who were running up front that were kind of taking it a little back, guys like Stanley, guys like Thurston, and you'd say New Bigging, they're starting to make up ground again. So after about 10, 15 laps, it seems like they're starting to make their way forward.
Yeah, that's the big thing, too. I mean, we're watching this back end. Thurston's up to 7. Remember, he has a little bit of fresher tires. I'd say a lap not under pacing. But I think Schaffer's down the area. Okay, now we got to save. Now we got to hold on. Look at him really backing up the corner. Schmidt took a normal corner, and he is just dogging it right back to the rear of that Chevrolet. Schaffer back to the outside. Schmidt on the bottom. See, Champagne's in that same boat. This is where the mind games come in. You had your wheel-to-wheel racing. If you came for the racing, you got it.
Still wheel-to-wheel.
And if you came for the wrecks, you got that too. But now the question is, what's going to work out later on as we get ready to get back to the start-finish line?
79 looking low. That's Schmidt. Schaffer has him cleared. Now Champagne looking on top of Schmidt, trying to get the third spot.
Yeah, Schmidt's still back there in third. Champagne's back there in fourth. So you still got 3 drivers under a blanket for that second spot. Look at Shamela back in 5th. Well, he's just walking around. Stanley there as well. I don't think Stanley's going to contest big time when Thurston comes a running, because he is coming a running right now. He is right there and getting ready to close on it, but look at that gap. 130. Burrows is dogging it away back to that inside lane.
Yeah, I don't think that the 62 might be saving fuel, but those guys in the back, it's either they were really slow and holding them up, or they are all worried about if they can make it to the end. The 2 GoDaddy Chevys, the 79, the M&M Toyota, Duncan and Burger King right behind them.
It's going to be tough to see. I mean, you can see Champagne back down that inside. Burrows riding in the middle. Holding on to it. Now, I don't know if you heard it or not, but you heard the tires squeal off corner exit.
Whoa, 79's loose.
That came from Burrows, so keep an eye on it. He is tearing those tires up, and Schaffer has stopped the bleeding just a little bit. Off corner exit. Corner entry, not the case at all.
2.5 now. That is the difference between 1st and 2nd. Kevin Champagne behind them. And you're starting to see that 62 just flying away while the others seem to be falling back.
Now, don't go anywhere. I'm going to tell you what. He's on a different strategy. If Schaffer wanted to go up there and fight him, he would, because he did it already with Schmidt. Same with Champagne. They have the idea of saving the tires because, once again, if you have the fuel, you might not have the rubber, and you have to have the rubber to go to victory lane.
Yes, you do, and they're saving it up, but now it's about 1.6 between the top 2. Champagne seeming to just stay right in the tire tracks. Everyone's kind of lining it up at this point, taking different lines, but staying in that straight line down the straight. And
they're
now,
coming to pit road.
That's it. They're trying that.
Big undercut.
Loose. But it might be the move. It might be the move on this one.
I don't know, man. This is going to be tough right here. I think Thurston's going to stay out as long as he can. So undercut, overcut. They did what they can. Now they have to go 25 laps at their hardest pace.
Yes.
William Schmidt, Shamela, do they pit? Because I think Burrows is going to try to stay out as long as they can. But James Thurston, I'm telling you right now, he is not going to pit. There's no way he does.
Yeah, he has been the same amount back as the leader the whole time. So he's going all out. And when he was the same amount behind the leader, he was back with New Bigging and others.
Burrows is
back
coming
at 10.
in.
Wow.
I didn't see this one coming. I thought they would have just waited out a little bit longer.
New Bigging and Wilkerson are in too.
Did they also do that? I'm going to pit one more time before the green. I know
Yes.
Thurston did.
New Bigging did.
So they may have completely miscalculated this from the tee.
Or some of these people are trying to stay out, and they're going to have to back it down. Still might not be able to make it, while these others, they can come like a bat out of hell the rest of the run.
That's going to be close. We'll check on speeding penalties as well. Schmidt to the inside, back to the race lead would be, if I'm not mistaken, 15 points back to your championship leader if he won this race. Shamela, still unofficial, but Shamela back there in second, watching on. 2 Toyotas and a Chevrolet.
Yeah, if he won this race, he'd be well within striking distance. He currently leads with 23 to go. Top 3 under a blanket. Frank D'Angelo staying out as well as Gavin Austin.
Yeah, they're going to try to wait all the way back to the rear. Remember, Frank started up front. He went back on purpose. This is it. This is the fuel lottery. You can see Shamela swaying that rear end. His tires are gone.
Yeah, he is. And behind them, New Bigging is a lap down as we run first, or second car, I should say, a lap down to the 43 here. Both of them trying to get their lap back.
And there they go. Now the question is, does it work? Does he stay out and does he go to victory lane?
Well, he has 10 seconds, no, almost 11 seconds to Frank D'Angelis. And if you're looking to one of those guys that pit, would that maybe be Champagne? He's 17, 18 seconds back. Everyone else over 20 seconds back. You can back it down, and if you think you can make it, you can probably at this point still give up a second a lap.
This is big. This is huge right here. I'm going to continue to watch this 14, but I did not expect this race to go this way. Look at Frank. Look what he's doing. It's Indy 2. It's the second time he's just hovering out there. And the question is, who would come out your race leader? Here's Burrows. Here's Champagne. Champagne is on provisional lead if these boys go ahead and pit.
Well, and they're going to be running up really, really quick on Gavin Austin, who's running third. He's just probably staying out to try and get a better finish than he'd have otherwise. Right now, the race is between the 14 and the 69, but what it looks like now is that 10 holding back the 62 with Schaffer right behind them, looking low. He's side by side. Burrows looking for provisional lead.
This is big right here. I mean, you're watching it right now. This rear wheel. If Burrows gets on through and runs away, he's got to go for everyone to go ahead and miscalculate it. That's the big thing. And same there with Stanley. But the one thing is, Kevin is still not giving on that outside lane.
No, he's not. And he's cleared him now again. And they're single file, 2 GoDaddy cars around the Mobile 1 Chevy.
This is massive. I mean, I don't know what I'm watching right here. I mean, you look at it, Thurston, 11-second lead. He's pulling away from Frank.
Wilkerson is 2 laps down, but has fresher tires than both of them. What does he play in this?
I don't know, man. It's going to be tough.
Burrows looking low again. Now, we only got 20 to go on this one. And these guys are flying compared to the leaders.
One sliding right in front of him and into the outside wall. Ethan Stanley, he's able to save it. That's huge for Thurston. He did not need a yellow.
But that will completely take him out of the running of this.
Back there in 9th. If I'm not mistaken, I was wrong. It was Ethan Stanley that was on provisional lead. Now this still is the provisional battle for the lead with Burrows on the bottom.
Well, up ahead of, let's see, up ahead of them is Justin Champagne. Would he be the leader, or is he trying to stay out too?
I think Justin's looking to stay out. I don't think he pit. And if he did, he's just looking for a top 3, top 4. There's no way he's going to cycle through as the race leader.
He just passed Gavin Austin. Those two are about 4 seconds or so ahead of these guys. Here's Dominguez. There's someone else trying to stay out, and these guys are going to go right past him like a freight train.
Thurston has a 12-second lead on Frank. The lead on Burrows, 25. You just need it to not run out. And I'm telling you, this place is going to erupt when they get down to 3 to go. Weren't you in the grandstands in 2012?
Yes,
for
I
Junior?
was.
What happened there?
Well, everyone got real quiet the last 10 or so laps.
It got quiet for us.
And then it erupted coming to the white and was an explosion unlike any other at the checker. We could see that again today.
Now here's the thing, they're gaining about 1.4 a lap. Right now, I don't think it's on par to catch. Either they're in 4th, 17 to go, 23 the difference. Thurston's just crossed the start-finish line, so he's out.
He can back it down more.
Yeah, he could really go ahead and coast this thing. And what a textbook move to pit with 1 to go with that many cars out of this race to make this work out. You can see Burrows is just dogging it off corner exit. He knows he needs to go ahead and catch him and hope for him to run out. And for Frank DeAngelis, what a win it would be if he could get it done 12 seconds back.
Yeah, I mean, and they're not really making up too much time comparably to him. They're only 10 seconds away from Frank with almost 16 to go, and still 22 seconds coming to 16 to go for these guys to catch up. As you see the 88 in the wall, they go all around him. And what you're looking at here is, I mean, let's see, roughly, I'll pull out my calculator, Larry Mack style here, but 21 seconds over 16 laps. That is 1.3 seconds a lap you can be giving up to these guys and still have the lead at the finish.
And let's talk about this right now. Look at Nashville. That was the real big wreck race. You know, short track, high horsepower, brand new aero package. Nobody really knew what to expect. And then all of a sudden, Thurston won. He went ahead and won when it was at the hardest to get it done. I'm telling you, talk about a season is never over if he goes to victory lane.
But still, you got to watch these guys. Burrows running 3rd, pulling away from Champagne and Schaffer. If those front 2 run out, or they just run him down, he's going to be the leader.
That's 15 to go. Well, there he is. Here's Frank DeAngelis down into 1 and 2. He might get caught by Burrows. The question is, does this 14 run out of fuel? You can tell he's saving. I mean, he can go in the car. You can't even hear it. The engine's not even on. He's coasting this thing to get to the checkered flag. What a race. I'm calling it if this ends. As wild as this race has been, this may go down as the greatest NR night race ever.
I mean, you're seeing, though, he's given up about a second and a half a lap. That's about as much as he can give up. He's got to watch his mirror, though. He has those older tires, too. Burrows is flying. He has over a second lead over Champagne.
14 to go, 13 to go this time by. Where's your race leader? The backstretch, coasting. And I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you can hear it, just sliding it on in. He doesn't even have the ignition on, trying to get back. Frank's in the same boat. And you go inside with Anthony Burrows, hard in the throttle. He is not waiting up, and he's catching 18 seconds the difference with 13 to go.
Yeah, and it's now 11 seconds as a distance between the 14 and 69. Frank, you can take him out of the equation when it comes to Thurston, who he has to outrun. Burrows is the one he has to outrun. With under 13 to go, the distance is 17 and a half seconds. He can still probably back it down even more.
It's going to be close. Schulte on the inside lane. Frank DeAngelis, 11 seconds. Burrows has left Champagne. So this is what it comes down to right here. Frank is saving more than Thurston. Look at the left side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Top three. Burrows has pit. He's going to go to the end, and his goal is to track on that top three. But Thurston runs out, and Frank saved more. He could get him.
Look at the interval that Burrows has here. Watch, he'll slow down for a little bit, but as he is full on in the throttle, you can just see it just erode away through the run. But still, under 12 laps to go for Thurston to make it to the end. And about 15 and a half, a little more seconds to Burrows.
It's going to be close. Now, Frank is down to 10, so you can now tell Frank DeAngelis is pushing it a little bit more. There's only 5 seconds the difference, and this could come down between this. If Frank gets past right here, I still don't see him coming to pit road because he gave it the shot.
Frank is making up a ton of time now on Thurston, 10 and a half back. Has he thought to save enough, or is he just trying to keep Burrows back?
We're going to listen inside of Thurston. Not even in the throttle. You ever been in a plane and have the engine shut off? I hope not, but that's what it sounds like right there.
Yeah, it does, and he is just inching down the back stretch, down the front. Now is Burrows, 14 seconds the difference with 11 to go. They're going to meet at the finish, no matter how it happens.
He's got to get a second and a half lap, and he's coming really close to that. Now 14 the difference with 11 to go. It might not be down within a 1-3 a lap because he is closing at a massive rate.
Yeah, less than 14 seconds now between them. Frank trying to pull in, only 10 seconds behind Thurston now. He has been reeling him in, but 3 seconds between this car and the 62 behind him.
I think the 69's out of luck. I think that's what it comes down to, James. Thurston, though, what's going to be the deal? Frank, 0 for 2 on him, but the best strategy possible. Love the aggression out of him. What a season. But the thing is, does he hold up Burrows? I don't think so. They're teammates. He's going to let him on by.
Well, Thurston now might be picking it up a bit because the interval is still 13 seconds like it was about a lap ago. He's given some up, yes, but not as much as before. Look, it's even still. He's given up maybe a few tenths a corner instead of half a second a corner.
Well, let's also look at this one more time. Also, we haven't talked about this a lot. Team championship. DeAngelis and Burrows are on the same team. They finished second and third. They might lock it up heading into Chicagoland. But for Thurston, we said it, you got to win. He's doing just that right now with 9 laps to go. He's going to get draft from a lap machine. That's huge.
That, I believe, is Joey Stone, who is in 12th, pulling the same strategy, trying to just make it to the end. Has not pitted, at least from what we can tell. Coming to 8 to go, the distance to Burrows is about 12 seconds. You could have about a second and a half, give up a lap, and still stay ahead of that 62. He can back it down more.
The question is, though, does he run out? Because when we listened to it, he was not even shutting that engine off, just shutting it off, you know, holding on to it, one to the wall, new banging down to the inside, out of harm's way. He's going to alt F4, no, brings it to pit road. He wants this race to stay green.
Yes, he does. Now watching, still 11 seconds, 7.5 to go. Into 3, staying behind the 5. That 5 car, who's saving gas too, is pulling away from our leader.
This is huge right now. I mean, Burrows, 10 seconds. He's going to catch Frank right here. I mean, he's coming in.
Yeah.
He's got the opportunity to go ahead and get him. It's 7 laps to go. DeAngelis has got to go.
Frank now is catching up. He's only 9 seconds back. It's a matter of if Thurston makes it. He's still keeping a second between he and his teammate.
That's big right there. You still see Burrows on that outside. He's going to catch him. 7 to go. Does it stick? That's the real question.
Look at the interval, a road away even more. 9 seconds the difference between the 14 and the 62. Burrows has made up almost 20 seconds on this run.
What a race this has been. So many question marks heading on in. So many things have gone right or wrong. Spencer Burns blowing up, bringing it to the pit road, no caution. Let them race. Frank DeAngelis, 7-8 back.
We're going to find out now in the next 5 laps or so. When they pitted, it's about 47 laps to the finish. The fuel window, 40 to 45 laps. He has been saving this whole run. He was at one point 29 seconds ahead of Burrows, who's going for second. It's now between the 14 and the 62. If Thurston runs out, this is Burrows' race.
Here's another thing, too. Great option. 1 lap down, 1 lap down, 1 lap down. The worst I think he can go as of now is 11th. That is massive unless they start unlapping each other. You can't even hear it. Not even full throttle, not even 35% in the gas. Back to the start finish line with 5 to go.
6 seconds of difference with 5 laps left.
He's there.
He's there, and Frank is trying to stay with him. I think Frank at this point is going for it too.
He's on the wall.
Yeah, but if something happens between those leaders, he's going to go for it. But with 4.5 to go, 5 seconds the difference, Thurston is giving up. He might be giving up too much time.
I was about to say, I think that's too much. You know, 4.7, 4.6.
But think of the points side of it. Even if he gets passed by the 62 and even the 69, he still has a great points day and is set up to fight for the championship at Chicagoland.
4 laps to go. This time by. Does the fuel lottery hold up for James Thurston? Where's Burrows? He's there. Now they're in the D-shaped oval. 3-9 back, heading back to 1.
Important here, Gavin Austin, who was on the same strategy, just pit with 4 to go.
And Frank DeAngelis as well. And Thurston is just hovering around. He's getting the draft off of Joey Stone right here. Joey's a little bit.
Joey's on the same strategy as him, though. Look at that 62 fly down the backstretch after him. He's got to go at this point. 3 seconds, less than 3 seconds now.
Burrows looking to go 3 in a row. James Thurston looks to punch his ticket to Chicago.
He's coming in.
From the pit road. It's over. And it will not work out. Anthony Burrows has 3 laps to go before going 1, 2, 3 in the last 3 races.
And a 4-second lead over Kevin Champagne. Now we got to watch how far back does Thurston fall in the running order. He might be able to come out still on the lead lap.
It's going to be close. You got to think about that championship battle. But for Burrows, it's a smile on the face. Champagne back to 3rd. Schaffer back to 4th. On their feet. What a race this has been.
2 to go this time by.
I don't think he's going to be running out. He definitely had enough.
Thurston's going to come out 7th in the running.
Wow. And it's going to be a nice look at this championship fight. 2 to go for Anthony Burrows. What a stretch of races of the last 6 weeks.
And that's Joey Stone in 9th, trying to stretch it to the end as well. He's going to be going a lap down. That'll probably help him at this point. Frank is going to come around there and pass him. But yes, Thurston probably can make up a spot at Barbagallo before this thing finishes out if he has a fast enough car.
Yeah, we're going to see. I don't know if he got tires or what. He will. He'll get that one spot. And who knows what Chicagoland looks like, because we will have a championship fight. It's Burrows getting passed by DeAngelis. Macker out the outside. Salamanca. 1 to go from the Irish Hills.
Coming down the front stretch one last time into 1 and 2. Coming up on lap traffic. His teammate ahead of him to give the way.
This has been a topsy-turvy race. From the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, from the fuel strategy to the tire strategy to the great racing at 211 miles per hour. But what happened 6 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago into now, it's the same number that will stay top of the board as Anthony Burrows works his way off turn number 4. Burrows victorious from Michigan.
Already starting the burnout.
Kevin Champagne second. This isn't over. Does Thurston find his way around Barbagallo? He does. And we're going to give you the championship points in just a moment.
Schmidt with the top 5 finish. Here comes Thurston for 6th. And Barbagallo 7th. That 56 will be the last lead lap car of this race.
I think it was a good strategy.
Yeah.
You could have been tied heading into Chicagoland. But ladies and gentlemen, if you watch this entire season, what did we say after Talladega? We don't think we have a championship fight anymore. Wow, were we wrong. Because now you head into Chicagoland. I think it's only a 14-point difference.
Give or take, yeah, we can check on the points here in a moment, but very close among the leaders.
3 in a row. Anthony Burrows. I think this is race of the year. I'll call it. Unbelievable.
Well, and even if, and it was a good strategy because if the caution came out with 5 to go, that 14 would be the leader with what, 7 lead lap cars. If he pits and everybody else comes with him, he has fresh tires as a leader. If he pits and nobody comes with him, he has fresher tires by 30 laps.
And our night in America, fueling victories all year long. You won't have to wait long. We're going to let you know right now what the championship battle looks like. And we're ready to promote it for the next 2 weeks because in 2 weeks' time, we're heading to the great Chicagoland Speedway.
She races again.
And this is what it comes down to. Oh, it's not updated.
Yeah, it's not updated yet.
We'll update once we leave, and then we'll give us the update. I was like, wait a minute, that's definitely off. The Burrows gets ready to celebrate, so you will have to wait a little bit longer.
But 3 in a row for Burrows. Imagine if he's able to have better luck, run full schedule, all that.
Yeah.
Tell you what, he could definitely be someone long-term that'd be a championship guy every year.
Anthony Burrows goes to victory lane. Let's talk to him for the 6th week in a row. That's big. And we get ready to see what is next. Ladies and gentlemen, just an update. No NR night this Friday. We'll put this 300 likes on this live stream as of right now. We'll have Sunday, and if we don't get it, we'll still consider Sunday because I'm going to Salem Speedway to call the ASA CRA Series late model action on the high banks of Salem Speedway. But right now, it is about Anthony Burrows. Burrows, this is John. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got a copy.
3 in a row, the hat trick. As you get ready to work towards the finale, walk me through that race. At least from a viewer standpoint, it was race of the season.
Yeah, dude, I'm at a loss for words right now, man. That was a very up and down race. I feel like, first and foremost, I think I definitely owe an apology to Kevin Champagne. Wrecked him about halfway for the lead. Tried to give him a little bump draft and didn't exactly work out, but yeah, I don't know. These cars were sliding all over the place. Tough to find grip anywhere. It was a lot of fun. A lot of different lines were working, but I was a little worried towards the end there because fuel mileage came into play, but got kind of lucky. My strategy worked out and found myself on top.
It's been fun, and Mr. Jarrett, we have the update.
All right. So Demos has the difference of finishing a win and up front. It looks like a 31-point lead on Thurston.
All right.
Then from there, a 47 points on Schmidt.
And New Bigging. So those guys are in it. And Burrows, 57 back, a very outside the box, very so
very
Burrows, if you win and
chance.
Daniel Mosteller absolutely blows up lap 1, you'll most likely win it.
Yeah. So,
He's still here, by the way. We still got him in the house.
Well, you're one of 5 championship contenders on this, and just barely out of it was Braden Movick, 61 back. He will not be a championship contender.
James Thurston has to now win Chicagoland. I think that's what it's going to come down to. Unless Demos wrecks out, it's going to be close.
Yeah.
Because Demos had a great season, but lost him out of line. We got a lot of great drivers, and they're going to be ready to race that finale.
Yep.
Burrows, walk me through this one at the end. You won it. Did you think you were going to win?
Honestly, I thought I had no shot. I remember I didn't let the pace car go under yellow and had to pit coming to 1 to green, and I fell down to like 11th or 13th or something like that for the last restart. So I thought I was over. Track position felt like it was pretty key tonight, so didn't expect to be able to drive back up to the field like that, but just managed it perfectly and just found myself up there. I don't really know what to say.
Well, it was a lot of fun. Do you want to say anything to anyone back at home?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to everyone watching tonight. Shout out to you guys putting on the broadcast as always. And yeah, hopefully put on a good show for everyone.
Well, we want to say thank you very much for coming on in.
Thank you.
Jarrett, a big change from what we thought after Talladega.
Very big.
Very big indeed. Well, you look at it now, this is what we thought was possibly going to happen. But in 2 weeks' time, we see James Thurston, Douglas Newbigging, Anthony Burrows by a long shot,
Schmidt
as well, and Daniel Mosteller fight for a championship. This is what it comes down to. 5 drivers, 1 title. 2 weeks from now from the Chicagoland Speedway, hey, 400 miles, and it's going to be a long one for a reason because you never know what can go wrong. Final questions, or final answers, should we say, before we get ready to wrap this one up.
Well, I think on top of the championship, you got to wonder, can Burrows pull it off and have 4
for 4
wins in a row to end this season off?
It'd be a perfect time for Wendy's to come back in the chat.
Yeah, very much would. And also, of the guys who aren't in the championship, who can go out on the high note, win that champion or win that race, be the spoiler, or is it going to be again Demos, the championship leader? Thurston, 31 back, 47 back for Schmidt and Newbigging, and Burrows, 57 back, our long shot. Will which one of those 5 will win the championship?
Gonna be a lot of fun, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you very soon as we say goodbye. I hope to see you Sunday night, as it is in the talks of an NR night. I hope to see you Saturday night on Racing America, as I will be broadcasting that live from the Salem Speedway, where I got to call my first ever ARCA race. I hope to see you on Danny B's Talks channel Wednesday night for the NWP. And nonetheless, we all hope you have a great night. We can't wait to see you in the comments at the end of this to hear what you all have to say. Have a great night on this Tuesday night, and we hope to see you all in 2 weeks' time. A finale, a championship. It's time to see who's going to get it done.